Niners! Fam, I know it's probably the media. This all it's like the fears being driven are probably false. But think about if they're not for a moment. it's kind of daunting, isn't it? Because you and I both know the Niners have a roster that on paper is a solid contender for the title. What am I? Hey, fam, I hope we're all taking out a real moment and honoring those who stood between us and America and the enemy. So happy Memorial Day to you. Hope you had enjoyed the whole day. I thought I'd cap off today since I burned off some calories here about an hour and a half ago. I feel so much better. You can overeat on these holidays. And then come on and talk some 49ers football before saying good night to Monday. Anyway, the 49ers have a roster that on paper is a solid contender for the title. You and I both know that. There's no questioning it. Meanwhile, as far as rosters go, the Hawks would take their offensive air attack to a level never seen in Seattle with potential Hall of Fame quarterback. Oh, God. Every time I almost threw up a little bit in my mouth on that one. But he is. Russell Wilson's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Because he's done a lot of incredible things, including screw-ups and messing up in the Super Bowl. But he's still, you got to give him credit. The Hawks are who they are because of Wilson. See, I don't like Wilson. I don't like the Hawks. I don't like their fans. But I will tell the truth about that situation. Tonight, though, we'll be taking your phone calls for your take on the possibility of the Hawks somehow landing Julio Jones and the impact that move would have on the NFC West. See, because I didn't think it was possible. We'll get Chill Pill Phil in a minute. I'll feel better, I'm sure, and as well as you. Somebody's got to. Anyway, let's just dive into this for a second real quick. The Falcons continue to field calls from teams interested in trading for Julio Jones. The Hawks have came out of nowhere to suddenly enter the discussions. I don't know how and why. I just didn't ever think about them. But they're in a discussion about a possible trade with Atlanta for Julio. As I mentioned yesterday, according to ESPN's Diana Rossini, who I just said, Diana she didn't have anything else to do, so I'll bang this out here and put that out there. Click. And here comes everybody saying, what? Really? No. But now, maybe. I don't know how serious it is. Russell Wilson, as you know, and Julio have been in touch, having phone conversations to discuss the possibility of playing together. When you do that, I don't know how good Russell is of convincing anybody of anything. But what if Julio comes and says, "Listen, I want to go to Seattle, so let's make that happen. Even if you want to rework my contract right quick and cut down on the cash a little bit, make it easier on them, or whatever you need to do, just go ahead and do. Because things like that happen. I don't know if Julio's I'm just throwing that out there. I doubt Julio's that kind of guy anyway, but still. And Seattle already has a talented wide receiver core, fam, led by DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, of whom each had 10 TDs and more than 1,000 yards receiving last season. See? Then again, that speaks to the fact that Russell was throwing the ball way more than he should have, which got him into trouble last year. There's a lot of INTs for a stretch there. It's kind of bizarre. That, by the way, has been called out, though, as a lie, that first-round pick. Anyway, Rosini, this past Thursday, she said Falcons have an offer of future first-round draft pick on the table for Jones. As you know, that's been called out. And the Falcons have asked teams that have inquired about Jones for that pick in return to that info coming from ESPN's Adam Schefter last Monday. So there's certain people do take seriously. Schefter, Rappaport, Rossini to a degree, even Matt Maiocco. Matt Maiocco doesn't talk unless he's got really something solid, so you can always trust him for the most part. The family, let's line up the facts. So the Hawks do not have a first-round pick in 2022 after sending it to the Jets last year to acquire Jamal. I can sack a quarterback, but I'm not really good back at playing defense as a safety. Hawks, don't say that. You know I'm telling the truth, man. How does a safety lead your team in sacks? Well, y'all got a lot of issues. And going after, okay. J.J. Jones requested a trade from the Falcons at the beginning of the offseason in March, but the organization was trying to protect him and work quietly behind the scenes, according to Schefter, and has been talking to other teams for weeks. So when we found out about the Jones deal, it was all of a sudden, and it was kind of shocking because of the way it came to us, because you got Julio Jones. Why in hell would the team with Julio Jones try to get rid of him? And then we find out about the financial situation going on in Atlanta, and you understand it a little better. But I'd have picked out 3 or 4 players and got rid of them before I would have started talking about getting Jones out of here, you know. But the Falcons would prefer not to trade him in the NFC, but would do so for the right price, and that according to sources as well, unnamed. The Titans have also discussed a trade with the Falcons, but a source described the Titans' chance of landing Jones as a long shot. And that was, they told Rossini this. It is likely that Jones will not be traded until after the June 1st because of the salary cap benefits for the Falcons. Now, we've already talked about that, and everybody knows about that. That has to be true. Fam, though, here's the thing. If you didn't know, Jones' base salary of $15.3 million is fully guaranteed for this season. JJ is scheduled to cost the Falcons $23.05 million against the cap in 2021. And has cap hits of $19.263 million in 2022 and 23. Don't nobody want to be bothered with that, man. The man is 32 years old. You would think, right? If the Falcons move Jones after June 1st, the move would offer Atlanta relief against the cap this season because the dead money owed to him would be split between this season and next. See, they're just trying to move monies here, there, everywhere, you know, trying to find out a way to pull it out of the butt and get it done. Here's the thing, fam. Why my sudden concern about teams like the Rams and Hawks, because these guys have pretty much arrived to a point where all that matters is winning. Now, they don't, building for the future be damned with these people. They know they have no future. They know. Russell Wilson's not going to play forever. And they got Matt Stafford over in Los Angeles with a bunch of other people, probably on one-year contracts as well. And these people will do whatever they can to land a top talent, even if they have to lie, cheat, and steal to an organization and the players involved to get it done. They don't care. They've become a criminal element when it comes to the dealing of players in the NFL. And at some point, I suspect the league is going to hand down some legislation to curb this kind of activity because it's getting more and more rampant, especially coming out of Seattle and Los Angeles. Not so much the Hawks as much as the Rams. The Rams have gone completely, they're rampaging. I mean, these guys are like, what? So, as I say, neither the Hawks or the Rams have a first-round pick to trade, which, by the way, makes it very suspicious that the Falcons suddenly said, maybe we don't really need a first-round pick. That's why I said it was a lie in the first place. Nobody ever offered the Falcons a first-round pick. But we do ask that this is the Falcons, but we do ask that if you pick up Julio's $23.05 million cap against the cap this upcoming 2021 season, maybe we'll throw some benefits in there for you. Fam, you know what? Okay, because it makes me a little nervous. I'll admit to it. And Hawks fans, don't get excited. I think everybody around the league knows Julio and DK on the edges with Lockett in the slot is not something anybody wants to be bothered with on a weekly basis. That could help them. That cannot be allowed to happen, fam. This is what I was saying the other day about the 49ers making a strategic move to get in the way of that kind of deal. If anybody's going to benefit from that kind of deal, it should be us. Somebody, please convince me that Hawks cannot pull this off. Hey, and it's not out of the question from what I'm reading for Julio to ask for a new contract for next season. If he comes in threatening that, by the way, didn't Jamal Adams' contract expire? Don't they have to give him a new contract this year? You know what? I think I just made myself feel better. You can't pay Jamal Adams and Julio Jones. Hell, you can barely afford what you got now. I think would that discourage the Hawks? I feel like I'm grasping it strong. You know what? A lot of us are already saying the same thing. Man, that ain't gonna help you none, Hawks. It probably isn't. Niner by nature. Ronbo, you can see Julio in Seattle giving us fits, but you can't see him coming to the Bay. What? No, because I don't know what the Hawks are going to do. I don't even know what our people are doing. I didn't say I didn't want Julio in San Francisco. I see there's a lot of misunderstandings. I just didn't see it coming. I feel like it's asking for too much, expecting too much. This is what I'm saying. We gave away our first rounds for Trey. We're in need of signing a multitude of star players. So it's not. Does anybody think I don't want Julio? Slap yourself a few times. What idiot doesn't want Julio? I never said that. I just don't see it happening. Niner by nature. You fall behind a lot of things I say. Just try to keep up. Ray Jr. said, "What's up, Ronbo? Don't pay any attention to these Sea Chickens, fans, Raiders, sorry-ass Rams." No, badass. Hey, Ronbo, shout out from Bend, Oregon. Go Niners. Hey, Matty, James McClaren, let them get Julio. That's not going to help the Hawks. They got no O-line. That is true. I'm here for anything that makes me feel better. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Brittany, Brittany, get in here, girl. Yeah.
What's up, Ronbo?
Brittany, I just don't like to entertain any discussions that include Julio Jones, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett in the same receiving room with Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? It's uncomfortable, unnerving feeling. I don't know. We could get all the secondary help in the world. I don't know that we can do anything about that. Brittany, are you uneasy with this? Or what do you think? Are the Hawks going to pull this off? Or is this just the media messing with us?
Wow. I honestly, as much as people are saying the Hawks may pull this off, I didn't see how. They just paid Tyler Lockett a new contract, and I'm like,
did they?
You paid him a new contract, so why are you trying to get Julio? I think it's just mainly the media messing with us personally, because they know now, based on the move, 49ers are a threat.
Yes, a solid, legitimate threat. Absolutely. Why would the media help the Hawks out in this area just to intimidate Niner fans?
I honestly don't know, because I think this is usual.
Yeah.
I don't know. This just may be me.
But you're right.
It's like they want that competition, or they feel that Julio's the missing piece that Russell needs to make the offense great in Seattle, or he's the missing piece that Stafford needs to make the Rams Super Bowl champions. And honestly, it's like, don't they need money? Doesn't Seattle need an offensive line?
Thank you.
So I'm not seeing this. I'm honestly not seeing this. This is only helping the quarterback, but the quarterback needs protection. And if you're not doing that, I don't see how Julio can help Seattle.
And they drafted another wide receiver beyond anybody's.
They did.
And Wilson didn't complain. He stopped complaining altogether.
Right. That's another thing. They did draft a wide receiver. So I'm like, wait a minute. They just got a wide receiver in, I forget what round it is. Why are you saying bring another one in bring another one in for Seattle? Bring in Julio Jones. What's that going to do? Wilson's still not going to be protected. It's not going to do anything. Rams. Oh, that's not going to do anything. They got Woods. They got Cup. What's that going to do? Nothing. And they wasted money getting Ramsey. What's that going to do?
Well, you see, here's the thing. Ramsey's going to take out one half the field. So he takes out either Julio or he takes out DK, right? As DK doesn't like playing against Ramsey. Ramsey owned DK last year. So I'm thinking like, okay, now they got Julio on the other side and they got Lockett, the miracle worker, coming through the slot. This would make them legitimately tough Carson, that running back they got, if he can stay in one piece, uh, don't they owe Jamal Adams? Isn't it time for his contract now?
I think I heard something about it. I think Jamal Adams is due for a new contract. So that's going to be a problem too. You get Julio, how are you going to pay Jamal Adams?
And there's no guarantee he's not going to ask for another contract next year.
Right.
He'd do that. He's got
Right.
leverage. Why not?
Mhm. So it just puts thought into your mind, like, how are they supposed to make this happen when there are people they have to pay? Not only that, they also have to sign their rookies.
It's
So
true.
it's just all these things all together, saying that the Rams have to get him, or Seattle has to get him, when they know they're low in money and they still have to pay their rookies to make sure they're fine. It just seems stupid, and I think they're doing it as a ruse because they know if the 49ers try to get him, they're going to be unstoppable, which is true.
Yeah. And Brittany, we could adopt for 1 year. No, you know it costs too much. You see, when we got Emmanuel
It
Sanders,
does.
we've already fallen for this once. We had Emmanuel Sanders, and we
Right.
got to the Super Bowl with him. Okay, but we failed to
Right.
get to the final end that we wanted. So now I'm looking at Julio, and we lost second and third round pick after Sanders, and with no real positive dividend on that, and Sanders not coming back. So with Julio, that's even a bigger prize than Sanders. If the 49ers can't sign him next year, if they should get him, oh, that would be a step way back. And we may not be able to recover from that.
I know. It's like we want to, but then it's like you got to sign the rest of our rookies, and then Fred Warner, he's
Yes.
due for a contract to be extended. So it's like, I don't know if he's willing to wait. That's the problem. If they are thinking about grabbing Julio,
There's too many offers
I
he
think
could
he
get.
wants his money now.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know if Fred's doing that, but he is going to have to be paid in the immediate future. And then there's Nick
Right.
Bosa. Nick's going into his third year right now, right? So that means we're on the verge of next year. You got to say something to Nick other than, we're going to pick up your fifth-year option there, buddy. Well,
Right.
I don't think
Right.
so. So now we got a problem. So,
Right.
man.
It's all just too much. But I think we'll find out, because I know, like, once tomorrow hits, we'll see what's going on. I already know Richburg
know.
is retiring, but I'll keep my eye posted on Julio Jones' news and see
Oh,
what's
yeah.
up.
Hey, Richburg's leaving us. That's not enough
Yeah.
money. It's just really,
Mm-mm.
wow. All right. And you know what? You know several other Rams have said they could restructure the contract for Brittany. You know what? This is okay. Well, let's see what happens tomorrow. We gotta go now.
Right.
Let's see you tomorrow, Brittany. Have a good night.
Definitely.
See you on
You
Twitter.
too. Good night.
Thanks. Yeah. I tell you, guys, I'm telling you, man. I know I'm probably anxiety ridden for no reason, but Rams and Hawks getting in there. Hey, Jamie, I know Jamie's got something to add to this. Jamie.
Hey, Ronbo.
Jamie, you and I have talked about wanting a receiver of elite speed and talents. And Julio Jones is that guy. I just didn't want him anywhere else in the NFC West if he wasn't in San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? So now I hear about the meddling Hawks and the ridiculous Rams. That's a good name for the Rams. The LA ridiculous Rams. And I'm not going to count them out until next week. So, Jamie, am I losing it here? I'm way off base?
No,
Do you anticipate
no,
any
I was
problems with
on
those
that from the
teams?
beginning. Remember, I said that right at the beginning, that the Rams or the Seahawks are going to try to trade somebody else's picks for him.
And they don't care what it takes. They don't care about next
No.
year or having to pay anybody or anything else. It's about what can they get done right now today. See, because they just don't care. They're not building a team. They're just trying to win when they can.
No, they don't care. Yeah, well, Wilson knows he's only got a few years left in order to get it done up there. Because
He says he
ain't
wants to
getting
play
no
until
younger.
he's 45. He thinks he's
Yeah,
Brady
that's
Jr.
what he can't see over the line, and he's got a terrible line, and he keeps getting sacked 100 times a year.
And you would think he'd get tired of that.
Yeah, until he's 45, huh? until he
Well, that's
blows
what
an
I heard him
ACL
say.
or something and he can't move anymore.
God. But Jamie, think about that for a minute. I guess he's got DK and Julio on opposite edges with one of the premier. I've always had respect for Tyler Lockett, too. You know, that's really.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, that would definitely not go in our benefit.
No.
No, because Julio might have lost a step or two, but he's still pretty quick, and he's just good. He's all around good. Like dude's a baller. So you're not going to be holding him down the entire game. Remember that game 2 years ago when we slept on him and Julio whooped our butt?
Well, you know what's so funny? That we did a good job on him all game long. Because as I remember, Sherm
Yep.
didn't play that game. He didn't wake up until the fourth quarter because that
Yeah.
incredible pressure we had on Matt Ryan, who finally got away. But you're right.
Yeah, and then Julio, the last drive, he whooped our butt. Yeah, he caught every one of them down the field and the touchdown.
I know. And just lean. And they were standing him up, and Julio just leaned his long body over the top of J-Dub and touchdown.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I like the fact that they got late sack Hyder up there, and they think they're going to be getting a bunch of sacks this year. No, no.
Yeah, the ball will be gone.
Late sack Hyder is going to go back down to 5 sacks this year. He's
Yeah.
not going up where he was.
Yeah, you know.
The reason he was getting them all last year was because he was the only guy, and he kept going at it, and then he would get him in late every time.
And the offensive lines that we were going up against were concentrating on Kinlaw and, of course, Armstead to the point where, don't worry about
Yep.
the edges, man. Just keep those monsters out of the middle. So,
Yeah, yep. And I wonder if they're even going to try to give Adams another contract. Like, do you really want to have a guy that can't cover and he can only rush the passer?
you could get those
I mean,
for less
why
money.
wouldn't-
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't they turn around and try to trade him for a couple picks? Because I mean, he's a good safety for what he does. He just can't do it all.
I'd have him gain weight and become a linebacker if that's what you want to do. Because if you're not going to play safety for me, Jamal, I can look out for Jack to come slamming in on us. But if you're not gonna play safety. I'd rather you come in and play linebacker and maybe an OLB since you like going after the quarterback and that's what you seem to excel at. So you're right.
Yeah, he's got a quick burst. I mean, his burst is fast. I mean, he's full speed immediately. That's how come he nails the quarterback so much. He comes through the line zippity.
But Jim, you hit it right on the head.
That?
No, I'm just thinking you may have something there because here's the thing: if the Hawks are sitting around contemplating whether or not they want to sign Julio or Adams, what would you do?
I would trade Adams if I was them.
You got to get something to take Adams' slack up though, because their defense is suspect, especially without Adams. It is to some degree even with him. Do you go ahead?
Yeah.
There's no free agents. There might be after a few days from now. Wow.
Well, it depends on what kind of safety room they have. Like they got to have somebody in there that can play the spot. If not, they're gonna have to get a safety back in the trade and the pick. Because Adams, everybody still thinks Adams is a baller, so they might get a first rounder back for him. Would they pay $2?
That's true.
Their first round out.
God.
Yeah.
Jerry, good stuff. I can't wait till tomorrow to see what's going to happen. We got another day or so before
Yeah, I know.
guys are going to
Are you going to be on tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to. You know what?
Okay.
I forgot. It's June 2nd when we got camp activity. We'll see about tomorrow. I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on around the league, and we'll come in and talk. Otherwise, may see you
All right.
Tuesday.
I'll be watching for you.
Okay. All right, fam. Have a great night.
All right. Thanks, man. Bye.
Yeah. No, bro. No, bro. I'm not scared. I like being able to beat the Hawks to death. And I know that if they pick up Julio, it'll be a little tougher. There ain't nobody scared, though. Don't misunderstand. Hey, Zeus.
Ronbo!
Hey, Zeus, I don't like, the Hawks. one thing I never like to show is any fear of the Hawks. It's not really a fear. It's a little more of a concern. You know, I'll admit now, and I did this a long time ago. I says when the Hawks had the Legion of Doom at their peak and at their best, I was afraid of them. I didn't really like when we were playing them, and I knew days before the game I'd always get that yucky feeling, you know, knowing I do not want to go to that team again, you know. So, and they'd come in and they'd take us down again, you know. So, you know, I'm looking now. I'm saying,
Right.
no. I don't want Julio to help that offense out. You know, they get a lot of shootouts because their defense is probably not going to be any better than it was last year, and their defense is suspect. So, you know, I don't know. Say hello to your guys and give me something to feel good about, will you? I'm
Yeah, I got you,
concerned.
Ronbo. All right, I'd like to give a shout out to my brother Eddie E, Chad Garrison, Tommy H, and all the homies in here. Sorry, guys, you know, I was just trying to get to the conversation to make Ronbo feel better one time. Why? I don't think any NFC team's gonna get Julio Jones. To be honest with you, I think an AFC team lands Julio Jones. The only way I see an NFC team getting Julio Jones is if the price is right, you know. But at the same time, Julio Jones is so much in cap money. The Seattle Seahawks can't afford that, you know.
That's what I thought.
And plus, yeah, exactly. You know, especially that. I'm not trying to sound like delusional here or biased or anything like that, but I don't think Seattle will use Julio Jones like the way how other teams will do, because Russell Wilson, he's a mobile quarterback, scrambling quarterback. You know, Matt Ryan is a pocket passer, and you know, I feel like, hey, if any team is gonna get Julio Jones, I honestly see the Tennessee Titans getting him. Tennessee and the Patriots, and maybe Baltimore, but I don't really see Baltimore in there because their salary cap is not the highest either. But you know, the Patriots just went out and, you know, they started paying out these big players on New England. So, like, they just started to rebuild that team. You know, why not get Julio Jones in there with Cam Newton or Mac Jones, whoever they got, you know. Ryan Tannehill, you know, they lost pieces in Tennessee. So why wouldn't they want to get Julio Jones?
See, because with Belichick, he's got them tight ends now. He's got everything he needs. You know, because I don't know that getting Kendrick Bourne is not going to do what Julio can do, right? So I'm thinking Belichick must be seriously interested in Julio. They say, like you're mentioning, the Titans. Although I don't know, God, you're right. AFC would be the best bet. You don't want Julio bothering you anymore in the NFC.
Exactly. You know, the Falcons would be stupid if they traded them to an NFC team. If the NFC team's offering more than the AFC team, then that's where you take the bait. You know, but let me tell you, Russell Wilson's on his last leg in Seattle. He doesn't want to play there no more because Seattle's trash. The offensive line is trash. You know, the whole organization is trash. Especially they're full of featherweights, Ronbo, in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? The fakest fan bases out there in the league. You know, I like to put Joseph Smiley out there as number 1 and number 2 Seahawks reign.
Yeah.
And the rest of the Seattle fanboys. You know what I'm saying? You know. 1 ring in 41 years, and they feel good about themselves because they got 1 ring in 41 years.
You know, it's like going up into the high-priced neighborhood and just parking your car and walking around the neighborhood, making people think that you actually live there. You know, that's pretty much what the Hawks are doing when they're coming in here talking to us. You know, you know, they just
right.
This is just the thing. Jesus, is it a possible chance? I don't know if it's actually feasible for the 49ers to pick up Julio. The more I look at it, and like I mentioned earlier, we can't pay Julio. We got too many guys.
I mean, the only way I see us being able to pay Julio is us letting go Jimmy G. But
yeah,
if we would have had Jimmy G off the team, we would have done it already.
Yeah.
You know.
Probably.
Like, you know, we're basically in OTAs and we're already in training camp. So
yeah,
that's where I see
Jimmy G also staying with us, because if we would have done it, we would have done it already, or we would have had traded him already in the draft.
And
we would have had
focus-
traded him to New England.
Yeah, and focus on and getting Trey up to speed and all the reps, and maybe thinking about the second stringers, who's going to come in behind Trey. But you're right, things have already pretty much taken shape and form. So but like Phil said, though, currently we have the cap space, and we could act like the Rams and the Hawks and don't give a damn. All we want is to win now. Later next year will take care of itself. That attitude is what gets teams into the lottery about 2 years later, thinking like that. So, I tell you,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Especially that we're not going to have a first round pick for a couple of years.
Oh,
It's only because it's also because we're trying to also build Trey Lance. Trey Lance is our future of this team. If he doesn't pan out, then hey, he's back to the drawing boards, and it's going to look bad on John and Kyle Shanahan. But I have a lot of faith in Trey Lance coming into this offense and thriving if we keep the same players around him. But we just have to keep the same players that we got right now. But it's also hard. But I heard that the salary cap is going up, so hey, that's also a plus.
yeah, it is. It's gonna blow up really large. Next year it's gonna be nice, but the year after that, I understand it's gonna really jump. So that's going to work well, because then we should have no problem getting Nick and Javon Kinlaw and some of these other guys that are going to probably at that time. Depends on Javon how he's doing. But there's a certain amount of there's a margin for relaxing, but not next year, the year after.
Yeah, I mean, we had to pay Fred Warner, or else Fred Warner's going to want to probably hold out.
For his
we have
for his
to
sake,
pay
you
Fred
have
Warner.
to.
That's a must.
Yeah, you can't get hurt.
That's a must. Fred Warner's a must pay, and with Dre Greenlaw, I don't. If he's gone, then hey, it sucks. Because I don't want him to.
Yeah.
I don't want Dre Greenlaw to leave. I
Right.
think Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner are the best, one of the best linebacker duels. We just don't have like the third best guy, but even our third guy is even good. The 49ers make linebackers.
I know, right? And that just got to stop.
We could pick anyone. We could get anyone. We could get almost anyone.
Fam, we
Hell,
gotta pull up.
we can even make Brandon Marshall into a contender. We can even make Brandon Marshall into a good linebacker. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm just saying we could get anyone, and they'll thrive in his defense, because the 49ers.
Because that's what we do. All right. Did we? Jesus? Is it okay? Jesus, sorry, production. Chill, Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Phil, glad you came, man. I'm telling you, man. Oh, you know what? Wait, we
Relax.
forgot. Okay, go ahead. Tell me why.
Well, first of all, Seattle's just trying to drive the price up. Who are they going to cut to get Julio? What, their middle linebacker? That's who they're going to have to cut.
Bobby Wagner?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, he's the highest paid
That's
guy on
who
the
they'd have to
roster.
cut. Or they'd have to cut 4 other starters to get the cap space. They only have $4 million in cap space. All right? That's chump change.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And to Mr. Smiley out there, you are the dumbest guy on the chat.
With a limited
You're
vocabulary.
picking number one. Number one. You beat Rudy and you beat Texas Boy.
Isn't he a piece of work?
Yeah.
He never brings
Pretty dumb.
anything intelligent to the chat.
You know what?
Delusional. Scrubs. Delusional.
To what I
Scrubs.
say to Seattle, go ahead. Sign him. Restructure his contract and kick it down the road. We'll be the best team for the next 10 years. That's fine. You want to give us a division for the next – the Rams are already out.
You would think, right?
With their cap.
You heard what
No,
they're doing,
they're
though,
done.
Phil. They've got players
They
running
have
around
to
in Los
win
Angeles
either
talking about
this year or
restructuring a
next
contract.
year. Well, they've already restructured everybody. And so, you know what? Seattle will just join the club. I mean, come on. These guys, we have Prague. And he's going to keep us competitive for the next whatever.
I know, right?
But
It's
I tell
nice
you
having
what.
a brilliant person in his position. Unlike L.A. and some of these other clubs, I don't know what they're thinking. That's how you get to drive 100 miles an hour, try to hit the brakes, just as that cliff is about 15 feet away and drop over the edge. I can't wait we're going to sit here and witness that. I think it's coming up soon, Phil, with those teams.
Ronbo, we're sitting pretty. We've got our quarterback of right now. We've got our quarterback of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's running out of time with Russell Wilson. That's what they see.
And they got no
Stafford
backup.
He's got basically 1 or 2 years left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've got the future and the current right now. So I mean, we're sitting pretty. Plus, we have the cap space. If Julio comes to us, fine. If he doesn't, no big deal. We'll still win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're in a no-lose situation here. And so what is Seattle going to do? They're going to sign Julio, and then who are they going to take passes away from? DK or
Tyler Lockett.
the other guy?
Yeah, it's
Lockett.
Mm-hmm.
Lockett? So what are they going to do? I mean, it's not buying them anything. So I don't buy it. I think Seattle's trying to buy the price up. They don't want the Niners to get Julio Jones.
And if they do,
because that would make us a real dynamic team.
They got to know our people are smarter than that. What's really funny about this, though, Phil?
Well,
if
sure
Russell
we
Wilson,
are.
Well, if Wilson did have a conversation with Julio,
But,
wouldn't that be hilarious?
Idiots like Smiley aren't.
Oh, this is Smiley. It's just there's a void going on up there.
You know what? I expect him maybe go to an AFC team. Yes, because Atlanta doesn't want him in the conference, and they don't want to play us this year with Julio. But
that's why we're not going to get him, Phil. The Falcons don't want Julio to come back and destroy him.
But you know what? They only got to play us once when they're already a loser, and then when they get better, then they don't have to play Julio. So I mean, you either take the penalty now or you take the penalty later. But I just don't see. I can see maybe New England getting him. I can see maybe
Chargers,
Tennessee, but they don't have the cap space. The Ravens definitely don't have the cap space, and they got to pay their quarterback. He's coming up in the next year.
Yeah, Lamar.
So, guys, gotta realize that right now the cap is important because we are at the point where we got to get down to a 53-man roster, and
55.
So, 55, whatever. I mean, the problem is that already teams have set on who they're going to cut, who they're not going to cut. The thing about the Niners is we've got the cap space and we have a need for a third wide receiver.
Oh.
And so those two things come into play here. And Shanahan has a relationship with Julio. So I think we're just as much in the running as anybody else. But if we don't get him, no big deal. We'll go on and win the division anyway because we have the best offensive line and the best defensive line. And you know what?
Shanahan.
Seattle and the Rams can't compete with that.
Yeah.
So,
Phil, I love the way you shed that
Have
light
some
on
cheesecake, Ronbo, and a piece of pizza, and you'll be fine.
I'm not me and pizza. That's my go-to thing every time I get depressed.
Yeah. What's your flavor? Pepperoni?
Oh, God. Give me that pizza. I love to look at the menu and see the everything on it pizza, And I have no problem with anchovies like a lot of people do. So,
I'm an all-meat guy.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that in a heartbeat. So we're going to go. Hey,
Yeah.
we'll be back tomorrow
Ronbo.
and see what develops here.
Okay.
And looking forward to you, Phil.
And Wednesday's going to be the big day.
Yeah, I know. I
Wednesday
saw it. I
we'll
gotta
learn
wait.
a lot.
Yeah.
All
Phil.
right.
Have a good night, Phil.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. And the big show. Thanks, show. And show says this. Seattle just drafted Dwayne Eskridge and Tamarian Terry, also known in college as Scary Terry. Both of these gentlemen are wide receivers. Seattle knows they can't afford Julio. Only $7 million in cap. Big Show, you're giving them. Phil says they've got 4. I think I'm going to get over Seattle real quickly. See, Fam, that's why I love getting together with you like this, because I'm sitting there, I'm reading the articles. Like, what? No, he can't go to Seattle. He can't go to Seattle. Big Show goes on to say also, Tennessee financially can't afford it. They have $3 million, and that's all. $3 million in cap space. Patriots just overpaid 2 wide receivers and paid 2 tight ends. BS. Big Show, did they overpay Kendrick? Man, Show been going back and forth about Kendrick ever since Kendrick first got here. And Show's probably using Kendrick, he didn't mention his name, as being overpaid with that $6 million figure. And there's John who says, can't call in. Julio Jones won't go to Seahawks. John, thanks for that contribution. John, you know, the more we talk about it here, the more I can see that's not really going to happen. That can't happen. It would just, the club would just be gone. They'd be finished. D-Flow, get on in here. Man, we waiting for you on the show. D-Flow.
How's it going, Ronbo?
D-Flow, it's going better. You know, I feel better now after calling, getting together with you. And as we talk about this situation, I realize, of course, Julio's not going to Seattle. Because, you know, the thought of Julio on one side and DK on the other and Lockett coming down through the slot, that was a little bit much for me. So
the only way I can think Seattle gets it, because Seattle, they are desperate. You know, they're not really a winning franchise.
Yeah.
So they have nothing to lose. So those, like how they traded the farm to get Jamal Anderson.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Like that's the one, and not only that, we all know Russell Wilson doesn't have a line, but then again, he's the best impromptu running around. So like, I'm pretty sure the only way Seahawks will ever get him is that they're gonna do what they always do, just do whatever it takes to get that player and just say, all right, let's figure out what we got now.
Right.
All right, let's see who's gonna take
what scares me. Them and the Rams.
Yeah, because
same reckless behavior.
Because when you're not a story franchise, they got nothing to lose. You know, like
hey, Smiley.
That's what it is.
That's true.
They have nothing to lose, so that they're gonna, just like the Rams are trading their whole draft system ever since the past 3 years. They've been having no picks.
You got to Google and find out when they have a draft pick. First round.
Right. So basically, they'll probably trade even more. So we don't really know. And the Niners are not really known for making big trades. So that's the one kind of issue about it.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So, and the only way I can think of is, I know the draft already passed, but I really wanted Kyle Pitts, because if that really happened, we have that bigger and faster than Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Matchup nightmare. So but everybody wanted I understand why everybody wanted a quarterback, but then again, we don't know if this quarterback is ready to play day one, because he hasn't played a year. And
in total, he's only played 17 college games. In total, he's only played 17 college games, period. So he has a lot to learn. So, he has
a really lot to learn. And not only that, I don't see Julio really going to us, because we don't really throw deep. I can see him going to a team that throws the ball deep.
Patriots? Cam doesn't go deep a lot. Damn. Titans? Who's the quarterbacks for what's the Titans quarterback?
Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill.
He can. I've seen him go downfield.
Oh. We could too, but we don't. But Kyle doesn't really dial him up like he did before.
Well, you know what, Kyle? I think because he hasn't had that kind of receiver he can trust to do that. We don't have, when we got rid of Marquise Goodwin was the last guy we could do that with, right? And then he became he proved to be, well, don't do that. And then now, that's why I wanted a speed threat, deep threat receiver in this draft. 49ers said, no, we go get some dudes in the running back room to just kill people every time they get the ball. Okay, well, Kyle, that's okay, Kyle. But you know what? That's okay. We'll see. I guess he knows what he's doing. So,
but other than that, the only way I can see the Rams and Seattle is that because they have no fear, because they're not really a story franchise, and if they're not really labeled as a glorified, we're all about winning, they're gonna do whatever it takes till they find out they're winning. So they're gonna probably trade the farm You know, like players are gonna probably take because it's Julio Jones. Who wouldn't want Julio Jones on their team?
No, you don't.
Seriously, who wouldn't?
I mean, nobody does.
You know, like
But
right?
if you just think about the future, you say to yourself, well, we do, but still, you know, what we got? How are we going to do next season? Then it becomes a headache. You know, I hate headaches down the road. We can win now. You get Julio Jones, D-Flow, we get Julio Jones, it's a wash. There is no NFC West competition. Everybody's in deep trouble. But then the repercussions after the Super Bowl.
You know what? I'm gonna use a baseball analogy right here. Why do you think the Yankees win a lot of World Series? Because they want to win now, not for the future. Right? So
Yeah,
that's why they have the most championships.
I know.
They get the best players when they're available, and when they can, they'll be like, "Hey, we'll do whatever it takes as long as we win now. Who cares 5 years from now? Because look how long it takes just for teams to win one time. So if you win one, you already justified your answer. You already justified. All right, we won.
God.
So basically, you can look at it. You want to win now and build for the future. But when you build for the future, you better win. Because look how many times we've been saying this since what, 94?
It takes too long.
And we still haven't won one. It takes too long. So if you have an opportunity to win now, take that opportunity.
And that's what the Rams. It's hell or no. Go for broke. D-Flow,
Right.
man. I'm telling you, man. It's always fun talking to you, man. Come on, I'll be back tomorrow looking for you.
Likewise.
All right.
All right, Ronbo.
All right, man. Have a
Have
great
a
night.
good one.
You too.
All right. You too. All right, bye.
Bye, fam. And as John also says, also Niners all day and Niners. Thanks, John, for the contribution. Patrick McClown, boy. He says, you scared, Ronbo? It's hilarious. I see you trembling in your Jimmy G pajamas. You better be worried about that 20-0 that your boy actually predicted. Hey, D. Ow, D and Phil, they always give you solid, you know, they know exactly what's going on before you even thought about it. D-Flow is solid, too. Everybody's solid so far. But D, I can't wait to hear about you, man. What you got on this situation, man? Because the media, this is what they do. They play with people. They know it must be by formula. Let's go ahead and tell everybody how the Hawks are potentially going to land Julio Jones, and let's see what kind of reaction we get to that, and then we'll build on it from there. See, people, they're using us in clown theater, you know? I'm telling you, how the Hawks go, and I'm looking at the numbers, it doesn't add up. But what D-Flow just said, that's what the Hawks and the Rams have been reduced to. We're going for broke today, Jack, and we'll worry about tomorrow when tomorrow gets here. That's the way they do. So that's why I said, you know what? I could actually see it possibly happening somehow. But Phil said he got to get rid of 4 people in Seattle. The Rams, they would just be lying. They'd probably be in court after the season's over for having made a fraudulent deal. But D, what's your twist on this?
As far as the Julio Jones thing, yes, anybody and everybody is going to want Julio Jones on their team because of what he brings to the table. One of the most consistent receivers ever since he set foot on an NFL field. The issue that you're going to have is very simple. It's going to be a situation of how do you get him and how do you clear enough cap space to keep him. Because you don't want to pull, a situation where, this wasn't like a situation where we did with Eman Sanders, where we got him and we knew he possibly could be a free agent next year, but he was still going to do work for us. We were good with that. We were good with giving up the picks that we did. But at the end of the day, we definitely would be in the market for him if we had the opportunity. Parag Marate is a wizard when it comes to those contracts. So he's find a way to work it out for us. But the issue is, like with Seattle, they ain't going to get him because you just gave Tyler Lockett all that money. So you can't trade Tyler Lockett for Julio.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, because they're basically trying to get out of cap hell, not get back into it. So, if you go ahead and trade Tyler Lockett to him, it's not helping them any. And there isn't anything for them to do. They're not going to actually be able to move contracts around or anything. And there was another caller that said it earlier that, they still need an offensive line. Like, y'all trying to go get Russ new toys and new players to play with, but the one thing that he's been asking you for all these years,
Some
you can't give him
offensive
that.
help. He can't be a line.
Yeah, he's telling you,
Killing me
look,
back
man,
there.
I'm trying to. Yeah, because Russ is the ultimate dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
And I say that because Russ can actually stand in the pocket, make the throws,
Yes,
and do
he
what you
can.
need to do. And
Yep.
he is a serious
Take
threat when
off.
he runs.
Yep.
I don't give Lamar Jackson the ultimate dual threat quarterback. You know why? He still has to develop his passing game.
Hey, please.
You know what I mean? I mean, even Patrick Mahomes is good when it comes to running the ball and passing, but he's more of a passer than a runner because he only runs when he basically has no option. So you get it and you understand it. But
he's like Rodgers. There's not a lot of blazing speed and everything, but they do know when to take off.
Yeah. But I mean, like this situation right now, if we were to be able to get him, the only thing for me is I don't know who we're going to give up or what we're going to give up. Because they've made it clear they want a first-round pick, and they're probably not giving him up for nothing less. We don't have one of those for the next 2 years.
They've walked that back, though.
So,
they walked that back just 24 hours ago. They said
well,
maybe
they probably,
you don't.
I mean, they can. But there's going to be multiple picks involved if you're not giving them the first rounder.
Well, they want a second
guaranteed
and pick up that cap hit. So that means if you pick up Julio, you pick up 23 against your cap.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're going to have to move some players because we don't have $23 million in cap space right now. You know, and then for me, like I was saying, we got to pay Fred next year. And I don't want to short Fred because we have Julio. I like Julio, but I'm sorry. Fred Warner has meant more to this franchise than Julio Jones. Why? Because he's been here. And he's the anchor of that defense. You know what I mean? Julio's a little bit older, but it's like, to me, it's no disrespect to him because the man still plays at a very high level. I guarantee you, there's a bunch of young receivers out there that will look stupid out trying to outdo Julio Jones. That young man is an amazing talent. But what I would say is leave that alone and let's try to figure out what we have. Because for me, I don't want to get Julio and have to give up Ayuk or Debo. I don't want to do that. And I feel like one of those pieces may possibly be something that we give up. And I pretty much think that Debo would be the odd man out strictly because of his size and what he does. They'd rather have Ayuk and Julio playing X and Z, but it would make a difference. But for me, I say just get out of that conversation, stick to what we have, try to figure out if Jalen Hurd's ever going to get healthy. And from what I heard, Jawan Jennings looked pretty good. So let's pray to God he doesn't get another hamstring injury, and maybe he can just be our wide receiver 3, you know. And or if anything, you can throw him on the outside and throw Debo. Debo would be a nasty slot guy. He'd be absolutely filthy. You know, like who wants to have a dude like that who wants to come across the middle? And in today's times, you can't hit like you used to. There ain't no Deshaun Golson and Dante Whitner wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes in this league because they were taking people's heads off. Yeah, we called it the kill zone. Literally. Like you go across the middle against us, you're gonna die. There's a possibility we trying to take your head off. So it's different. But oh my God, we rocked them when they were back there. We rocked them, but we have to focus on what we got. I honestly say kind of get out of that and let them do whatever they're gonna do. If John can make the moves without us giving up too much, fine. But if not, we're not stressing over it. We have what we need. We're gonna be fine.
I tell you, D, good stuff, fam. We're gonna roll. I tell you what, I'm gonna keep an eye on what's going on because tomorrow could be a very serious transaction day. Actually, got to do it after. I don't know if they mean after June 1st or June 1st and on. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hey, man, you have a good evening. Appreciate the platform. Appreciate everything that you do. Oh, and I hit you on your Instagram, man. I DM'd you the channel. That way you just hit that. All you got to do is tap that link and you're in there.
All right.
But yeah, you have a good evening, Ronbo.
I'm gonna repost it and put that around so everybody can find that. All right, fam.
All right, brother.
Jasmine too. Night, fam. There he is.
All right.
Mr. 90 Gang Podcast D. All right. And Rodney Miller, thanks for that contribution, Rodney. And fam, what would a day be without Rudyisms? Today, Rudy goes by the moniker of Rams Reloaded, and Stafford is ready to roll. He says, Rams not a storied franchise. Are they? Well, the stories are kind of stand-up comedy kind of stories. LA Rams, first NFL team to sign black players. First team with helmet logos. First NFL offense averaged 30-plus points a game. First NFL team to win NFL championships in 3 different cities. They were known back then as the Cleveland Browns. That has nothing to do with the Los Angeles Rams. And they're all those are accolades that you can be proud of, Rudy. Are you a Cleveland Browns fan, though? Because the Browns should be actually talking about that stuff, not you. Ice, baby, too cold.
What's up, dog?
Ice, baby. Ice, man.
Oh,
Tell you what, fam.
I'm here.
I'm telling you,
Yo,
before I got together with the fam here, I was sweating it a little bit. I said, you know what? What are they serious, man? Y'all don't. You ain't putting Julio in Seattle.
I'm not to
God,
interrupt you, dog, but check it. That contribution of Roger Miller, that's me, the Iceman.
Oh, don't thanks, Ice. Y'all know that from now on.
Yeah, you know who it is.
Ice,
AKA
the
Iceman.
Yeah.
They say individual. Top gun, baby.
It is. Ice. My dude, he's with that.
Yeah, man. Listen. Let me tell you something, man. You know what? You know how, those are fake smoke signals. Is what I call it. You know what I'm saying? Those are just fake smoke signals. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, the Hawks ain't got no cash or no nothing to really give up to offer them to give them. The Rams definitely ain't got nothing to give them. So the Rams and the Hawk fans, stop smoking. The realest team, honestly speaking, that got the cash, money, and also the actually assets to get them is the Chargers.
Yeah, nobody's talking about them, and I thought so too.
See, and the people, those teams are playoff teams that's feeling cold because they want him to try to be a contender right now. But the bottom line goes down to this, everybody. What do they have to give them that Atlanta's going to want to take?
Yes.
Y'all got to give them something to give them something because they're not going to just give up Julio. And then on that side, too, both teams, the Rams and the Hawks, y'all got to figure out how to get that money up to get them. Like, you would sacrifice a whole, but really, they have to sacrifice a whole hell of a lot more than what we would have to sacrifice. We would have to sacrifice maybe a player, most definitely a player. There's no question about it. It ain't even about the money with us. Okay, it would definitely be the player. What player they gonna want for him that we would not be willing to give up?
Fred or Nick,
I think that's right.
Because they need defense.
Right, and exactly. So I don't see us realistically going out to say, "Oh well, yeah, we're gonna give this guy what we already have in place." That doesn't make any sense to them. I mean, Shanahan, much as he likes Julio, and Lynch probably likes him too. But the reality is, it doesn't make sense whatsoever. It's it's a great fantasy football type shit, type thing. But no, I don't really literally see them giving up what they already have. And another thing is, there's a lot of speedy free agents out there that we can grab. It's not like so like we not hitting the panic button like we were injury ridden last year, and we got great draft picks. So there's no reason for us to even panic. If the Hawks was to hypothetically get this, and you hear what I said, and what? That don't make them no contenders. They're making them contenders because they can't stop nobody. They got to worry about. Not only they got to worry about us. And to me, the only team in that whole division, Rams might be a little whatever, but it just depends on what Rams can show up. Any team that can be better to me and can be a dangerous team or out here would be the Cardinals. That's the only team. That's the only team that I think is a legit threat They got mad young talent over there, and they hungry.
Yes. And the
See,
right
that's the
mixture
thing.
of vets and the right ones too.
Right. They're on the same cusp as we are.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the Rams and the Hawks, they're reaching for straws. They're trying to win now. So they're trying to grab everything they can at superstar level to build a super team to try to get there where they're at. But they don't have the assets to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're that all that, and then what happens to them? What if you know how Stafford, he gets hurt? What if he gets hurt? Now what they got in the back? That's the same thing with Seattle. What if this guy gets hurt? What if they going to? That's a background.
And Chris
What if
Carson,
Metcalf gets hurt?
and Chris Carson gets hurt every year. And you know, as a running back, I got respect for him. That dude does not come down on the first tackle. No way.
Exactly.
So, you know, yeah.
Exactly. And this is the thing that we've been building, and people ain't paying attention to. Everything that we've gotten right now is prepared for just in case somebody gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we put together right now, that's why we got a big running back room. Because we were so rid of so many injuries on the defensive side of the ball, offensive side. They said, man, listen, we got to get us a bunch of DBs. We got to give us a bunch of safeties they did. We did a bunch of defensive linemen, bunch of offensive linemen, bunch of running backs, and some wideouts. And we get hurt, we're prepared for it. They wasn't prepared for that shit last year, We wasn't prepared for none of that to happen. So what happened? You learn from experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got beat up last year. So we got to get us a bunch of guys that we know can fill the roles and fill the shoes of the things that we want to do that we couldn't do last year because of injury. So now, if Debo get hurt, they got another guy to fill this spot. That may not be a complete Debo Samuel, but he's a Debo Samuel beat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what we're doing. So everybody's panicking. Oh my man, we the guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love my man Phil. We got the best O line and the best D line. Mad shout out to my man Phil.
Oh, it's so true. That's why. And you win these games in the trenches. Rodney, my man. Ice. We got to roll, fam. Listen, I'm going to be watching to see what the news is tonight, man, all night long. Waking up every time
I'm telling you, man, he's
tomorrow.
going to the Chargers, dog. He's going to the Chargers.
Remember, Ice called it first. It's the Chargers.
He's going to the Chargers. When everybody wake up this Wednesday morning and see you in San Diego,
all right.
I'm telling you,
Right,
he's going to be a Charger.
Let's not just drop it full tomorrow. All right, fam.
Chargers,
Appreciate you.
49ers for life.
All right, Ice. Have a good night, fam. Was it in the 49ers Ultimate Report, real facts. NFL teams have signed many of thought out the year throughout the years. Coaches and use the West Coast offense. 49ers have helped the NFL success. You know what? Isn't that true? It really is true. You know, Bill Walsh it's one of those people that actually changes the entire spectrum of something, and he did that. And you've seen all kind of variations of the West Coast offense. There's Rudy again, for reasons unknown. Wait, Rudy's incorrect. 1945 Cleveland Rams. There's such thing as a Cleveland Ram? I wonder why they changed the name to Browns. Cleveland Rams beat Washington. 1951, LA Rams beat Cleveland Browns. St. Louis Rams won Super Bowl. We already know about that, Rudy. By the way, Rams more Hall of Fame players than Niners. Look it up. No, Rudy, they got to be Rams. They can't be from other franchises that aren't called the Rams yet either. God. Although I do remember one thing about the Rams, that fearsome foursome and some of the guys on there. There's been some great players down through the years. Just haven't won many championships. Or should I say rings?
Hurry up. Come on.
Emilio?
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, man. No, yeah, I can.
Emilio, man, this is why I love coming in and doing these. There are times I'm sitting around thinking too much. You know, you get alone with your thoughts and, you get real stupid. But I stand corrected. There is no way in the hell the Hawks are going to be able to sign Julio Jones. I don't care how many conversations him and Russell Wilson have, that's all it's going to be, a lot of conversation. Man ain't putting on no Hawks uniform. He's not going to be lining up next to DK Metcalf on the other side of the field, and Tyler Lockett will not be in the middle running through the slot. So you know what? Let's go ahead and look forward to beating the hell out the Hawks.
You know what?
Yes!
I actually want them to sign. Julio so he can get injured the first week, and then all that money they wasted they didn't have. Yeah, go ahead and get him. That'd be funny. So,
I forgot about that.
Your money, hey, whatever. No, go ahead and get him. He get hurt. Yeah.
Because Julio's going to pull a hamstring
perfect.
or an ankle. Something's going to go out of him.
He's going to find a way to get hurt.
Because he averages like
money coming. Why not get hurt?
He only averages about, 9, 10 games in the last 2-3 years? So you're right.
Pretty much. No, pretty much. That's just at the point where, like I said, he's still got talent. He's a great player. But at this point, he's too injury prone. You don't play too many games to miss anymore anyway.
It's like I've always said, it's not human to run sub-4, running 4.4, 4.3, 4 less than 4.4. When you start doing that, the body starts to say, oh, hell no. Oh, my God. Pull that muscle all the way up to the back of his neck. It's just, ah!
Yeah.
So, I've never seen a speech that didn't have the same trouble with his hamstrings. So.
It's just you think about it, all these players, they play their ass off, they work their ass off, but then once you start getting in your 30s is when your body starts really wearing down from all the hits they've been doing.
Yeah, that's why Russell Wilson.
So no, it's just like I said, Julio's good, but he's getting to the point where he's starting to break down. Unless you're like Tom Brady, the only reason Tom Brady's still playing is because the thing the Patriots always spend their money on was their line, so they made sure Tom Brady really didn't get hurt, so that was their thing. So that's the only reason Tom plays. If Tom has one hell of a line, he can keep playing till he's 50, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, because he doesn't get sacked much, does he? Come to think of it, you rarely see him going down.
No, because that was the one thing that the Patriots always spent money on was that front line. They didn't spend money on receivers. It was rare, maybe a defender, and every time a defender or somebody wanted money, so they got rid of him. So, no.
But see, these are things that teams like the Rams and Hawks who'll do anything to get a player. They don't care if they have to get rid of people. They don't care how much money it's going to cost. These are the kind of they're in the NFC West, which is you have to think about it when you see it.
You think about it when they got Jamal Adams. It was a waste of picking space too. They picked him up, and what happened? Dude was injured for the most of the season.
You know what?
Dude, it's just a waste of time. I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and get the player. If you really want him that so damn bad, go ahead and get him so you can ride the bench or be on the injury reserve. Go ahead. If that's what you really want so bad, and then you're gonna go play. Well, and then when we beat him, they talk about, well, he wasn't on the field.
Yeah,
so
he wasn't playing, right?
I said, make excuses. I'm like, when we beat you with Jamal Adams wasn't on the field. Oh, your defense wasn't on the field, so that's why you guys won. I'm like, you know what? Hey, you guys wanted and you guys picked them up. Stop making excuses. When we lose, we take it in the chin and keep on moving. You guys want to make 100 excuses why you guys lost.
Mm-hmm. And Jared over at Twitter, Joseph Smiley, that's you, ain't it? That's got to be you. Both of you guys have the same stupid line of conversation. So you know what? This is the thing. Little Hawks fans, man, they continue to believe that they're all that in a bag of chips. I do enjoy that. So when the time comes,
yesterday how we had a Lions fan here, now we got a Chargers fan. What the hell's going on with these? Why are we getting fans from everywhere all of a sudden?
And a Raider fan came out of nowhere. He's
out there
displaying his logo with no shame.
Him and Rudy. Well, why don't they argue with each other? They got something to argue between them two. Why are they over here in our division?
I tell you,
Raiders haven't won a playoff game in over 20 years, and then the Chargers haven't won not even Super Bowl in forever. So I don't know what they got going on over here.
The Raiders have more Lombardis though than the Hawks and the Rams combined.
Well, yeah, but that too. But like I said, it's been 20 years for the Raiders. Well, actually, over 20. It's been almost 40 years for them.
I can't even remember.
It's been in the 70s, so it's about 40 years.
Yeah, and but here's the thing, I'm more I think about it. You don't want Julio. You don't necessarily want Julio in San Francisco either, do you? I don't. I can't.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind him, but what is he going to really cause? that's the thing. Like I said, we can afford him, and
How
we
long is it
don't
going to
really
be?
necessarily have
But
to
you bring up another
get.
good point, though, about him. How long is it going to be before he's laying on the sideline and coaching Debo and Ayuk, you know?
But I think if we do get him, I think he would be there for certain packages. I don't think he'd be there for every down just because of that. Because knowing he is injury prone, I don't think it would happen. So it would be more of a rotation thing if you really think about it. But it's just you really want to spend that kind of money on a rotation player because you think about it, you'll have Debo and Ayuk most on the field most of the time, and then you have Julio for either going deep down the field or trying to switch something up. I don't honestly think he'd be on the field too much. Like I said, just because of his injuries. That's one thing I say. And he's too expensive. To me, he's kind of expensive for that. Like I said, he's worth, he needs to get paid. He's worth it. But at this point on our team, he's too expensive to be on this team. I just don't really need him on here just because of that.
And what if Jennings or Hurd do come back? Then it really would have been a waste of money because you got that young talent that would come in and probably do just as well of a job. Because
Yeah, you think about it. If Hurd, if hyped up what he's supposed to be, and 2 years, then yeah, it's no point in getting Julio. But we honestly don't know what he can do. On paper he looks good, or what we heard of what he can do, but nobody has seen what he actually can do. So it's just like, man, it'd be great if he can make it through preseason this time, and then hey, we don't need Julio.
We go watch the news tonight. I'm gonna keep an eye on things, see what's up. I'll probably see you tomorrow, cause man, this is a fun time.
Right.
All right, fam. Have a good night. Happy Memorial Day, Emilio.
You too, man. All right.
Thanks, man. All right. Looking forward. Yes. Oh no, here he comes. Papa Dragon.
Yo, Ronbo! What's up, boys? Shout out, please. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Brother Ronbo.
Yes. Thanks, fam. Trolls, y'all ain't got to do nothing but keep moving. But hey, Pop, man, the thing is, I feel so much better. Sports, everybody's pumping it up, because everybody likes the combination of Julio and DK and also, of course, Tyler Lockett. And then I'm sitting there, I'm going through I'm looking at some of the sites that give you insight on the money involved. And I said, you know what? But the Rams don't give a damn, and neither do the Hawks. They don't care enough, but no. You can't put a cap on those people, right? So I'm thinking, you know what? He can end up in Seattle, couldn't he? So, Pop, so I sit and listen to rational thinking. No, he can't. He ain't going to Seattle.
Well, never say never.
I know that. That's
what I've learned about the NFL. It don't make sense. I mean, they could get him, but I mean, it's not going to keep Russell clean or keep him from complaining, or it's not going to get Russell to take a pay cut. That's what it boils down to.
There it is. Boy, you hit it right on the head. But how about if Russell likes Julio so much, how about give some of that money back where it can be used? And if you want an offensive line, Russ, how much does Russ get paid? 30-something?
Yeah, he's at 37, 38 next year.
And people talk about Jimmy.
Yeah, I know.
Jimmy ain't getting paid. Those are the guys. Russell Wilson, if he wants Julio, you could damn near pay Julio's salary and still be fine.
I'm just saying, that's like most of your cap right there.
30.
I love Julio Jones. I love him. I hate his agent. Shit, I hate his agent.
Who's his agent?
They need to put a hit on his. I don't know who he is, but he put $27 million on a hit on a cap hit. That's like a hitman taking out his own team. So I mean, honestly, there's two things are going to happen. Either a team with a bunch of money under the salary cap is going to take him because this year is weird, right? Everybody's got less money. So the most logical choice is the Chargers, right? But I mean, the Jets got a lot of money and a quarterback that can swing it. But when was the last time a football team
took a free agent receiver, and that just catapulted them to the Super Bowl. That only happened once that I can remember.
Ain't that the truth?
That was Randy Moss and Tom Brady, and they didn't win it. But at the end was that D line that won it for the Giants. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, whatever happens, but it don't make sense. A lot of the stuff people are the trade Debo for Julio Jones, all that garbage. That stuff's garbage. It's just garbage.
No,
it don't make sense.
No,
it don't make sense to take, because that cap hit can't be moved. It don't make sense to take that big of a chunk of money in one player that didn't even play the whole season last year. So I really think that Julio's going to get cut. If they don't trade him to the Chargers, they're going to cut. I would cut him. I have no choice.
You know what?
I have no choice but to
such
cut Julio.
drama. God, I'd love to watch that happen. I mean, GMs would be tripping over themselves, getting hurt, trying to get to the phone.
It don't make sense. I seen the Lions do that with Stafford. They paid him tons of money to lose. Why would you have this inflated salary cap knowing damn well you're going to lose next year? It doesn't make sense. They got themselves in a situation, and they're going to have to get themselves out of it. There's not going to be a team to bail them out, in my opinion. I wouldn't bail them out. I just sit back and wait. Let them sweat. Then all of a sudden, if they got to cut him, at that point, he can choose where he wants to go. Now, is he worth having? Yes. Niners haven't had a true number one receiver since T.O. That's the truth. So it's been a while since we had a true Pro Bowl guy that just commands double coverage. But there's a lot of places that he could go with a good quarterback. Not a lot, but there's some at the top, the Chargers, Bengals, etc. I don't know if who knows? Maybe this year we get Super Jimmy G and he's just hitting everything down the field. Or maybe Trey Lance is the guy hitting everybody down the field, and that might work out. But to be real about it, it's like the only place I see him working this year would be San Francisco or the Titans. I think those are the best fits overall. Two powerful running games with play action fakes. Yeah, because you got to bring a guy down in the box, right?
Indeed.
And then that's going to leave Julio 1-on-1 in this, doubles.
And that won't work.
Right. So I don't see. I wouldn't worry about it if Julio went to Seattle. They still got the same problem they had last year. They can't protect. They have no defensive players. The Legion of Boom is gone forever. They got bigger problems.
I'm glad they are.
A receiver don't fix the team's problem.
Pop, we got to go, man, because I came in late tonight. I can't wait till tomorrow. I know something's going to develop overnight to get this situation. I want Julio to get situated where he's going and not anywhere in the NFC West other than us.
No, I don't care. Personally, I don't care where he goes. It's not going to make that big of a difference. It just isn't.
It's a good point.
It's not. I'm sorry. It's just not at this point. It's not going to fix Seattle. It's not going to fix the Rams. It's not going to fix the coaching at the Cardinals. It's not going to work.
Julio ain't going to do shit for Seattle or the Rams. It doesn't matter because he's not going to the NFC. He's going to the AFC regardless. That'd be the dumbest move for the Falcons anyways. If they gave him to the NFC.
It doesn't matter. I don't think that's not going to affect us. We're going to be 11-6. Period. We'll be around 11-6. Period.
No matter what.
Hopefully we can stay healthy. And
14-3.
I like that better. Is that
no? I got 11-6. We're gonna lose some stupid games. We're gonna lose. I see some stupid games. We're gonna lose.
We're gonna go, man, because I'm gonna run out of time. I gotta get out of here in a minute. All right, fam.
All right. Shout out to production.
Yo, thanks, fam.
All right, man.
Nice meeting you, man.
Yeah, you too, brother.
How you doing, Ronbo?
Yeah, Steve, man. I'm sitting there as we was pointing out, man, because, if the media is amazing what they do. It's all psychological. I'm sure they put this in the lab and they test it out. You keep hammering something, hammering it, and pretty soon somebody's going to buy it. I didn't really buy it, but I kept thinking about the repercussions if he should end up in L.A. or Seattle. In L.A., both teams have a lot of problems with their offensive line, so Russell Wilson's going to be on his horse all season long anyway. If they want anything, they should have bought Russ a new horse. But this case,
Ronbo,
I'm saying, go ahead.
L.A. and Seattle, they have that crackhead mentality where they have nothing to lose. That's what they have. They have that crackhead-ass mentality where they got shit to lose.
Dangerously scary.
Everything to gain.
They'll do any damn thing.
But they ain't going to do nothing with him. That's the thing. He goes to L.A., who do they have to throw to him? Stafford? Okay, good luck with that.
He goes to Seattle, he's going to get double coverage, and he's probably going to get boxed out. Come on, man. There's nothing he's going to do.
In Seattle, you can't double cover him. That's another thing, because now you've got DK and Tyler running loose. So I said, you know what? That could be a real issue. You know,
I'll be real with you. Tyler Lockett is the biggest threat on the team. DK Metcalf is only scary because he's big as fuck. That's it. That dude's a monster.
Fast.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. And he can overpower, although it's interesting how the Rams don't have any problem with him. But then again, you got that cornerback over there that likes to take him out of the game. You know, though, yeah. You know what, though? It's not going to happen. When I think about it, even the Rams and Hawks can't pull this one off. So, but he's got to go
Not
somewhere.
unless they want to lose everything.
Yeah, he's got to go somewhere, though.
Oh, and then last night, before I cut out, I was talking about the whole Jeff Wilson Jr. So when they mean substantial, that means like a lot of damage was done. They don't know how extensive it was, but it was enough to make him sit out for possibly 4 to 6 months. Most likely, that's going to be a 6-month process of him healing, rehabilitation, and all the works. Depending on the severity of the tear, and depending if it's medium to high grade, all comes down to what we find out in the news. When you tear your meniscus, a lot of things follow up with it because the meniscus is the sac right beneath. It's like this gelatin-like sac that sits right underneath. I think it's the tibia. I said it on Grant Cohn's. What was it on Grant Cohn's phone call, and I got it wrong. I forgot, but I think it's the tibia. But
tibia's just above, just below the shin, below the knee, right, and into the shin.
Yeah, literally just below the knee, and it's like I said, it's that gelatin-like sac that is like covering the bottom of the knee, and then right in the middle of both of that is your ACL ligament. So it could be far bad for him. But besides that, though, I don't see Julio coming anywhere in the NFC because Atlanta already has trouble beating their teams already. So there's no actual point in him coming and staying in the NFC. He's going to go to the AFC where they know that his talent is going to be deadly somewhere else and not be a problem for them.
And especially, that's why I think, Stephen, the 49ers, I think the last place they want Julio going is San Francisco. We played them this year. And Julio's going to come out there and hold a clinic just because.
Exactly. Just because he wants to. They would not want that. That's their biggest nightmare. That's the equivalent of, oh, my God. We let someone go like a couple of years back, and he went to our division rival, and he ran train on us the whole time during the game. I can't remember who it was.
Who was that? Because it wasn't Carlos.
No. Was it Breida? No, it wasn't Breida.
No, Breida hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't went to. Breida went to Miami, and they don't let him play either. So you know what? I can't remember who this is exactly. But you're right. I do remember somebody going to them that did do a good job. As a matter of fact, DJ Reed did pretty well, but DJ Reed screws up at the most inopportune times. You know, what did he do? He did something really bad in that LA Rams game. I was kind of shocked, but yeah. So, but anyway,
he's not our problem no more, though.
Yeah, they didn't really mean to get rid of him. We could have actually used him last year. The Hawks picked him up. Remember he had a torn pectoral muscle, and the 49ers waived him so they could bring him back so they could make roster room for something else they wanted to do. And the Hawks swooped in and got him over the weekend. I said, look at that. What?
You know who else had on the 49ers? Someone else had a pectoral tear. Was it Quan Alexander?
Quan did have a torn pec, yeah.
Yeah, that injury is damn near detrimental to everybody playing that position. That thing is like a death sentence because you're never fully back 110%. Because when you tear your pec muscle,
especially that year, because you use everything you do is going to involve that area. So if you feel any twinge, you're going to pull off. Remember in the Super Bowl when he backed off a couple of tackles? I think he was feeling that chest. Yeah.
And, that's why he went to the Saints. And what did he do at the Saints? Not a damn thing, Ronbo.
Not a goddamn thing.
He made one play against us, remember? We were at the goal line,
Yeah.
and he made that play. Pissed me off so much. I said, oh, good, Quan. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, play good for them, but don't play for us. All right, I see how it is.
Steve, we got to
Man,
go, fam.
Ronbo.
We gotta go because I came in too late again. I got everybody waiting. But listen, let's get together again tomorrow. I'm thinking I'm gonna come back. I'd have to come back tomorrow. I can know something's gonna develop overnight.
Something's going to develop. I have a feeling. But it's been a pleasure, Ronbo.
Oh, as always, Steven, I love you, man. We'll see you tomorrow. All right.
We'll see you.
Yes, indeed. And I see, is Rudy back? With Rudy, with Rams wide receiver core, we don't need Julio. Speed, speed, speed. By the way, Ronbo, have you even seen Stafford highlights on YouTube? He's special and deadly D-ball. Rudy Stafford didn't just now come to the NFL. We've all seen Stafford play. Nobody's ever said he's not bad. You guys got to be able to protect him in that off. See, your problem is like every quarterback, and you can ask Patrick Mahomes. I don't care how good you are. If you don't have an offensive line to protect a quarterback, especially Stafford style, you're not going anywhere. AJ! A and J. AJ.
Hey, can you do better now?
Yo, no, I can hear you completely. Hey, AJ.
I guess my Bluetooth wasn't working.
Yeah, Bluetooth. For some reason, Bluetooth always struggles through that system. I mean, probably you could talk to anybody else. But
right now with this idea of getting Julio Jones. Huh?
I know, I'm telling you, man, because I said to myself, man, come on, man. Seattle can't get Julio Jones. And AJ, remember the threat of Julio, the Cardinals? The media tries to put these players. Cardinals probably don't know nothing about no Julio. And I said,
no.
Okay, you got Julio, you got D-Hop, you got AJ Green. Well, ain't no point in playing them. I said, ain't no point in playing. You got you got Pro Bowlers at every receiving spot. And you got three? Right. How the hell? Ain't no defensive back corner in the league that can stop all that. So, it didn't happen, and it ain't going to happen. Cardinals don't have any money. They can't afford him. The Hawks can't afford him either. Neither can the Rams. But then, like Papa Dragon just said, man, you can't say nothing's impossible in the NFL. The Bible's in there. Yeah, and that's why I said, oh, no, that's true. Because you know how they are, AJ. The Hawks and Rams don't give a damn. They'll do whatever they have to do to win now. So that's why I'm still concerned.
Yeah, and that's true. I don't know. If we get him, it'll be over. Like I said that way before. This was really hot or something. But I said if we get Julio Jones, it'll be over. Like,
it is over.
Straight up and down. Because he knows Shanahan. Of course, everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think it'll be over for most teams.
Great route runner.
Yeah. But on a lighter note, or a better different subject, I don't know if you've seen it. Ronbo, you probably did. This is old, I think. Akilo Witherspoon. He was.
I know what you're ready to say.
He got a whole. Yeah. Had a whole session, man, talking about how, it was just embarrassing when he was praising that team, though, bro. I was like, damn.
And not only that, he adds to that the fact that, I'm the greatest. When I'm healthy, I'm the best cornerback in the league.
Yeah, said, man, really. I don't know if his dad was pumping him up like that, because my coach knows his dad.
Oh, his dad is cool people, though. His dad is cool as hell.
More than likely.
But I think he went up to Seattle and got some of that high-grade drug they like to smoke. Because Keller never talked smack and trash like that. What happened to him?
Never. That's why I was like, this is the same guy that was playing on our team?
Very humble, very well-mannered, polite all the time. AJ, remember, he's the same guy who came and told the coach, don't outpace special teams for Emmanuel if you need me to, because he's got his plate full. Man, how many players do that, AJ? Nobody does that.
Right.
I'll play special teams because he got too much on his plate. And now I'm over in Seattle, best cornerback in the league when I'm healthy. What?
Yeah, the irony, man. Now you got really thinking about the whole interview all over again, man. That shit had me. I couldn't even watch all of it. I had to stop. I said, I don't hear this nigga. I don't hear this dude just breathe.
He always wanted to go like there,
this.
AJ.
I was like,
Exactly. But don't ever come back crying and crawling when we get them land 40 trophies on you, and you don't get nothing but get picked on again because somebody is beating you over the top or whatever the case may be. I'm fired up by that dude's whole little hot house hot.
Well, you
Had to
you
stop it, man. I just
you,
couldn't
you
take
know
it.
who's
It was
going right at him
repulsive.
when we get ready to play. Every one of our receivers know just what he likes to do and don't like to do. You know,
Right.
so it's gonna be interesting to see what we do against the Hawks and who we run at because they lost their Pro Bowl cornerback, the other one, I forget his name, but and now they got him in there. And the reason why the Hawks picked him up because he did a pretty good job against DK, and I guess that's what makes him think he's the best cornerback in the league when he's healthy.
Well, that's what he said too. Oh yeah, I can't wait to practice against DK. Yeah, it's gonna really sharpen me up and all this. I'm like, man, boy, I tell you, he living high off the hog up there.
Man, he always.
I can't take it, Ronbo. I can't take it, man. It's like Chris Tucker. I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed off, man.
It's just pretty good, Chris Tucker. You gotta have your eyes bulging when you say it too.
Yeah, because this stuff made me think. Okay, now when he get on we played him. I think what week we played him? Third week.
I'm not
week
sure.
3?
I think we do play him early in the season. You know, I think you're
Early
right.
in the it's after Green Bay. It's after Green Bay. Yeah.
That's early in the season, so it's gonna be fun to see because every one of us, AJ, is gonna be sitting back. All right, Spoon. Spoon is. He lasted a few weeks this week. Ain't nothing wrong with him. All right, we know what to do. If they smoke Spoon early in that game, I'm gonna lose my mind laughing, man. God.
I forgot what thread I was on, Ronbo, but some Seahawk fans swore up and down. I was talking to somebody really polite, didn't really send in too much. And he come at me talking about, oh, you guys, we beat y'all for 10 years. San Francisco's, you guys are our bitch. Crazy. I was like, oh man, he getting out of control.
They're living in. They can say that. AJ, you know what? There's nothing we can do about that. But you know what? They can stay back there in that series. And now let's see, because for the last couple of years, and the only reason they got off last year is because he was hurt. The year before that, we was the ones that sent him to the wild card game, and that's going to continue to be the trend from here on out. As long as we're healthy,
from here on out. That's why I was like, hold my beer. You just talking real crazy right now.
They ain't got no game now. They just average team. So
average. I said, y'all. Oh man, I said all of that.
It's true. I mean, Russell Wilson is the only thing that's keeping them from sinking. Russell Wilson goes. That ship goes down quicker. That ship goes quick down below the surface of the water, miles deep. Hell, man. So I ain't worried about it. Hawks.
But are you going to be doing something for Monday? Because Happy Memorial Weekend, by the way. You doing something for Monday?
You mean tomorrow, Tuesday? Yeah.
I mean Tuesday. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I'm watching to see because something's gonna happen tonight. I just know it. Whether it be Julio or whatever, or the 49ers. I know we're gonna get something going. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. So be looking for you.
Okay, man. Yeah, and Arizona, man, that's a team that's gonna be. Yeah, that's a team we're gonna have to really
I've been worried about them. Ever since they got caught, it's been worrying me to death. We're gonna find out. All right, fam.
We'll handle it.
I know.
Niners strong, man. Go bold, man. Let's go.
Night, fam.
All right, man. Later.
AJ. Oh, man. Hey, Ellis. Come on in, Ellis.
What's up, Ronbo?
Ellis, man, I feel so much better than when I first came in. I like to go work out when I get my mind gets too heavy on things. And after I got through with my workout, man, the Hawks cannot pick up. Man, why are they talking about the Hawks going? Julio ain't going to Seattle. Let me go ahead and make this a topic of the night, man. Let's ask everybody else how they feel about this. So, after this conversation, and most of them, Ellis, I don't think Julio's going to Seattle. Give me some on this.
I mean, shit.
You were thinking about it too? And Ellis, thanks for the promo on the likes too.
Oh yeah, man, you already know. You know what? Let me just start out with that. Listen, if there's 300 of y'all in the chat and there's only 100 likes, that means we got 200 guys from other teams in here or we got Niner fans that still ain't hit the like button. And that should not be happening.
Hey,
I don't give a damn who you are. If you're a Niners fan, man, y'all need to hit them likes. And if you from other teams and you in here not hitting them likes, y'all are game goofy. And y'all daddies ain't teach y'all nothing. Y'all don't got no morals, no values, or nothing. You here and you ain't even hit the likes. Y'all goofy. Y'all like girls. You understand me? Anyway.
You know,
so back to the lecture at hand.
One message for the chat. My homeboy says he's owning the chat. Don't let him get away with that. All right, go ahead, Ellis.
Yeah, you say man. You already said that, Patricia. You ain't owning shit. So have a seat. And that Boondocks character you got, or whatever that is, that little picture that you got, you goofy out here, boy. I don't understand how none of your teams have any chats, and why would y'all be here instead of your own chat? I couldn't even be interested in being in none of y'all chats. That shit would drive me crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all are a different type of goofy. Anyway, back to Julio Jones.
Yes.
Back to Julio Jones. I don't think he's going to go to Seattle, but I'm going to be honest. If he goes to Seattle, we got a problem.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
they picked up this other boy. This wide receiver from Oklahoma, Troy. I don't know. I don't want to say his name wrong. Somebody knows in here. Troy, something. He's real good. He was a sleeper pick. And then they also got Tamarion Terry, and they got Dwayne Estridge, and then they got Tyler Lockett, and then they got DK Metcalf. So they'll be extremely deep. You know what I mean? And we already said it's going to be interesting this year. It's going to be fireworks in our division, just because of the offensive, weapon acquisitions our other, three opponents have gotten, and we already were up in the upper echelon. You know what I mean? So if we get just Jalen Hurd back, I mean, we got a problem. Everybody's got a problem. So even if we don't get Julio, man, I'm not really disappointed. I think there's kind of just like there's a sensation about getting a Julio Jones right now. It's different than getting Randy Moss back in the day. Even though Randy's a Hall of Famer, we didn't. We can get a lot more juice out of Julio. And everybody I think would agree with that. So it'd be good for us to be able to get him, but I don't think Seattle's going to be able to pull that off. But it's all about what Atlanta wants more. And I figure, why would Atlanta, it was a good point that Phil made earlier, I actually thought about it before the show, is why would they give him to us when they could be playing against us, at the end, potentially, before going to the Super Bowl, just potentially, or whatever. They would have to, that would be in our division, they would have to match against us. So going to the East would probably been more beneficial, and those guys might be willing to mortgage a little bit more. Yeah. And the salt between Kyle and Atlanta, potential salt, past salt, that might not have been dissipated, or you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but they just want to get rid of Julio so bad. I imagine any place they can put him, they do, because they're serious about their money. They don't have any, so.
Yeah, for sure, So we're gonna find out in the early AM, man. I'm hoping we get. A notification, everybody, we get that notification that Julio Jones is coming to the 49ers. I think that would be cool. I'm just thinking about the second and fourth? It seems like going to be the minimum. Will we give a third and a fourth for Emmanuel?
Second and third.
And, a second and third. God damn, man. So that's what I'm saying. And we did this a couple of years, like I said, a few shows ago. We did that with Trent. We did that. We've been giving away some picks. These are a lot of players we've had to miss, we've missed out on in the process, and potential great players we could have acquired. But, with the little, was it a hammy injury or some issues that Julio was having?
Yeah, Julio.
I don't know, man.
Julio always has a hammy issue, always. So that's
okay. So then he'll have a target on his back as soon as he gets hurt. So that's what we all got to remember. We pick him up, he gets hurt. We're gonna be all, you know what.
Tell you. Ellis, we're going to go, because I'm going to run out of time here. But Ellis, I'm going to tell you what, man, I'm going to tomorrow, as you said, watching your notifications tonight to see what action is going to take place tonight. The magic June 1st has arrived. All right, fam.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the platform as always, Brother Rombo.
Thank you,
and,
Ellis.
man, shout out to the real Niner fans out there, man. And, yeah, man, all the rest of y'all keep y'all tails tucked, be yourself. Yeah. We need to get to 27. We almost said 27K. We'll just call it 27. But make sure you hit those subscriptions as well. And don't be in here not hitting the likes, but y'all in here 100 plus deep, and you from other teams.
Thank
you know what I mean?
It's so true.
Go to bed.
All right, fam. All right, Ellis. Appreciate you, fam. You know this. I'll see you tomorrow.
All love, family. Yes.
All right. And Tony, Atlanta's best fan, and Tony.
Ronbo, what it is.
Tony, man, I'm telling you, man, we're sitting there, man, and you know, you're at the ground zero. And Tony, you could probably clear this up because you're probably getting more truth in Atlanta, I mean, as far as the Falcons news than anybody else. Yes, we know this. Tony's in Ohio. I'm being pointed that out. He's not in Georgia. But anyway, the thing is, are the Hawks involved? So I can relax? I'm glad you called.
Well, other than Julio talking to Russell Wilson, they don't have the draft capital, Ronbo. They just don't have it.
And the Falcons don't care how much Russell Wilson is chatting up Julio. Unless the organization can hand them some goods, there's no need for that conversation to even be relevant. Is that right?
Exactly. But I'll tell you a team you better watch out for in your division is Arizona, because Ronbo, I will take it. I'm hearing Arizona will give us a first-round pick, a third-round pick, and wide receiver Christian Kirk, who's a good young wide receiver who they drafted in the second round a couple years ago.
Oh, God. See, Tony, that is a snake that I'm talking about that's in the grass. Do you know? I was worried about this weeks ago when I said, you know what? A.J. Green, D-Hop, and Julio. Can you imagine that? Everybody, they ain't going to know, man. They ain't got no money. They got this, they got that.
They got draft picks. Because I know the Falcons wouldn't mind having Chandler Jones, but they're not giving him up. But I know if they gave us a first-round pick and a third-round pick, or just a first-round pick, and they give us Christian Kirk, we'll take that, because now we can move Christian Kirk to that number 2 receiver behind Calvin Ridley at 1. And he's young.
If I wake up, I'm going to leave my note. If I wake up in the middle of the night and the Cardinals have acquired the Julio Jones sweepstake is in Arizona. What? No! They will then be the favorite of the NFC West, almost in a heartbeat. That's too much. That's
you got those
too
two older
much.
monsters with DeAndre Hopkins and Andy Isabella, the kid they drafted, who's a little feature in the slot.
And even if A.J. Green only plays sometime, they still got his long butt, too.
Yep.
Oh, man.
But you know what? In a way, I kind of don't see that, even though we can do that, because now Arizona will be paying D-Hop at 24 something mil.
Yeah.
And
Ain't nobody
Julio
got
at 22 and a half.
Yeah. So having two receivers at 20 plus, it don't make no sense, do it?
No, it doesn't. But Philadelphia, they got 3 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders next year.
And plenty of money.
And 2 first-rounders in 2023. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But like I told you last night, if the Falcons were to trade Julio to Philly, that would piss Julio off and his agent. So they ain't winning.
In fact, somebody just talked about Julio's agent and how he's got things set up so the cap is like it is. People don't understand. Agents don't care. They don't care where. They just want to get paid.
Yeah. But it's funny, Ronbo, how the teams that got the cap money, like yourselves, Indy, who was that other team? I can't think.
Chargers.
You guys don't have the first round. Well, not the Chargers. They got first round picks.
Yeah.
But you guys don't have.
Yeah.
It was Indy. You guys in Indianapolis, you don't have first round picks to compensate us. Or in Indy's case, they don't have a first or second.
Damn, I didn't know they got rid of all their picks. But somebody said, and you know how the media is, now the media is saying that Atlanta has walked it back a bit, and they do not insist upon a first-round pick. Just pick up Julio's cap hit and don't ask us to help you with it. That's really nuts.
I haven't heard anything about that, but that may be true.
Yeah. So,
That may be true.
and it might be media fabricated too. They may have just made that up. So,
Yeah, you know how they are. But I heard tonight too. I heard Marcus Mariota got traded to Carolina, but I can't confirm that.
Whoa.
And I was trying to see for who. I couldn't find anything where it confirmed that.
You know, Mariota, he looked good last year when he came in. That one game, it was a night game too. Mariota looks a lot better since he left Tennessee. Very strange.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Tennessee. Yeah, is that where you're from? Yeah. So you know what? We're going to find out tomorrow. I think we're going to find out a lot of things tomorrow and for the rest of the week, for that matter.
Do you guys have a second round pick next year?
Yes. Yes, we do. Yeah, we got a second
Might,
and a couple of thirds. No, one
if you
third.
get a second. And I don't know what the Falcons are doing. They're being hush-hush, but not to worry about Seattle or the Rams. They just blowing smoke.
Yeah, I feel better already. All right, Johnny. I'm thinking I'll probably be back tomorrow. I'll be looking for you.
Yeah, but another team you got to watch out for is New England. They do have the pick.
See,
and they got a little bit less cap money than you guys, but not much.
AFC, and I said, if we got to deal with them, we won't have to deal with them until SB. So if we get there, so that I'm not worried about them. All right.
Yeah, I thought Arizona.
All right. I am scared of them.
Yep.
God, I'm scared of them anyway. All right, Tony, have a great night.
Sir.
Oh, God. Can you imagine? See, this is what I was worried about. I talked about this a month ago. Whenever we first heard about this, just don't let Arizona get Julio. And look at this. If that happens, we'll be mad as hell. Well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Show!
Ronbo.
Show.
What's up, man?
Hey, thanks for those contributions, show. Man, that show, I'm looking at this
you're
situation.
welcome.
And I'm thinking, if for no other reason, I'd want the 49ers to pick up Julio, to keep him the hell out of Arizona, L.A., and of course Seattle. Show, what are you thinking? I know you're very enthusiastic about seeing Julio in a 49ers uniform. Give me some more.
Oh, I am extremely enthusiastic because we haven't had a wide receiver that's panned out in the draft for the last 18 years.
God, you're right.
So think about that. And what changed? What drastic a turn of events would that be if Julio Jones came to us, even though we didn't draft him? But you know what I mean. Kyle Shanahan knows how to use him. Unlike the other people that people are naming. For example, the Chargers. The Chargers have Keenan Allen. They just paid a bunch of money to, and they also have Mike Williams, and they also drafted a really good wide receiver this year, and Josh Palmer out of Tennessee, and they drafted KJ Hill a year ago, who's really good. And they're not gonna be able to use him and afford him. Well, they can't afford him, but they just fired not only that, they just fired their head coach and Anthony Lynn this offseason. Rombo, Julio's not going to want to go to an unstable coaching situation with the unknowns of that and face Patrick Mahomes twice a year. Are you kidding me?
And with all the talent that you just mentioned, why in hell do they need Julio anyway? I mean, Julio's great and all, but still, that's a lot of talent that they've already got.
Yeah, and they just paid Jared Cook a bunch of money in free agency too, the really good tight end out of New Orleans. So, and as far as the Patriots go,
I wanted Jared.
A lot of people are overthinking. So did I. A lot of people are overthinking this situation. It's really easy to weed out the teams, just by looking at the cap numbers. I mean, if you don't understand the cap, then you're SOL. I mean, the Ravens are clearly out of it because they just drafted 2 wide receivers this year too, in the first and second round. And not only that, they drafted a first-round wide receiver in Hollywood Brown a couple years ago.
Remember that?
So, and Lamar Jackson's really not that great of a thrower anyways to begin with.
Yeah, downfield throws,
and like I said,
a lot. Yeah,
he'll be waiting a lot. And like I said, the whole AFC conference is a complete joke. I mean, Julio's not going to want to go to no team can really realistically afford Julio in the AFC, with the exception of the Browns, the Jaguars, who they both don't need Julio. The Patriots, who I just said that they're not going to really use Julio. They're not really an air raid offense. They're a run first and 2 tight end set offense who they just paid a bunch of money to Hunter Henry and Johnny Smith. So, and they paid Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar, who are really not deep threats, but they're good at those. What do you call them? The curl routes or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's really
midfield action.
what Bill. That's what midfield action. That's what Bill focuses on mostly, instead of deep down the field, which Julio is known for. So you can cancel him out of New England. He's not going to be used right over there. And as far as AFC, I don't think he's going to the AFC. It's going to be an NFC team because Ronbo, he's 32 years old. He's not 27. He's not 25 anymore.
Yeah, you got time.
And
those,
those who feel like Atlanta will feel threatened by them giving to him, please stop thinking like that. Kyle Shanahan has a good relationship with Atlanta, first of all. He didn't leave on bad terms or anything like that when he left it to be our head coach in 2017. So, and he knows how to use Julio out of all the NFC coaches. And as far as Seattle goes, Ronbo, get the hell out of the conversation, please. Seattle, sit down and shut up.
I mean, it's media. I don't know. I keep falling for their antics all the time, and I know they're lying. I mean, wasn't that a conversation with Julio? So what?
It's because of the conversation of Julio and Russell. That's why they're connecting Seattle to this conversation, and that's stupid. They can't. Seattle can't afford him, and they don't have the draft capital to do it.
None. Hell, they don't have enough draft capital for themselves. So
they just spent it all on Jamal Adams, a overrated safety.
Yeah. How many picks did the Hawks have this? I saw them get that wide receiver. Did they have 2 or 3 picks this year?
I honestly don't remember. It was like 4 or something like that, I think.
No, it definitely wasn't anywhere
and
near.
And they drafted 2 receivers with those 4 picks. So
no offensive line.
Nope.
You got to love what the Hawks are doing. Russell Wilson will continue to get body slammed.
Speaking of offensive line, the Chiefs just remodeled their offensive line completely.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to that, but it's going to be a lot harder to get past Kansas City now. They just spent a bunch of money on Orlando Brown, who's a really good left tackle,
and they got another guy on the other side
really
too.
Good guard.
Yeah,
Joe Thuney from New England. So it's going to be hard to get past the Chiefs in the AFC.
The embarrassment the Chiefs put them through in the last Super Bowl, they had to spend every last dime they had left trying to get that happen. I mean, Holmes said that had to be a Super Bowl record of running backwards.
Yeah.
I loved it. I've always said, I don't care how good the quarterback is. If he hasn't got any protection, he's going down. And he did.
And Julio said he wants to go somewhere where he can win. And where in the AFC is he going to win besides the Chiefs? And there's really no besides the Bills, and they don't really need him and they don't have any money. But you know what I mean? There's nowhere else in the AFC where he can win.
So he's got to.
And Julio does have a say where he can. Julio does have a say where he can go.
Okay, he does. That's what I was wondering about.
Yeah.
Okay. So there it is. Well, this show wrapping it up like it ought to be. Appreciate you, fam. We're gonna go.
So,
and I got a feeling I'll
care.
be back tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Shout out to the TNT fam. All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Night show. I'm breathing freely again. No Hawks. Hey, is that Mark? Is that Marcus? Hey, Marcus. Marcus. So Joseph Smiley, you can talk all the smack you want. Your eyes may shine, your teeth may grit. Julio, you'll never get. Hey, Marcus! We'll continue to pound you through the dirt. And the only thing you can hope for, Joseph Smiley, and the rest of you Hawks idiots, all you can do is hope we get hurt in similar fashion as the last year. That's the only thing that's going to save your butts. A Malcolm Butler fan? Nobody's ever come in with a player fan for a name. Malcolm Butler. Where's Malcolm Butler playing these days? Malcolm Butler fan. I love it.
Do you smell what Kyle is cooking?
Who is this?
It's Mike.
Mike. I enjoyed your Malcolm Butler fan, but I said his name can't really be the Malcolm Butler. So hey, Mike, man, if you're a Kyle fan, is Kyle going to get Julio back? Because I've already, you know what, Mike, this conversation tonight started out with, man, are we going to brace ourselves for Julio Jones going to Seattle? That's so dead in the water. That's not going to happen. So, Mike, wherever you want to go, what's on your mind?
Well, obviously, I'd want him to go to us, but I don't think that Atlanta's going to trade him to a team that they have to play this year and have him light them up.
Probably. That only makes sense, right?
I'm thinking he's going to go to the AFC personally. I'm thinking Chargers, Colts, but
did you hear
that's just my personal opinion.
But did you hear what Big Show just said, though? This is not a guy in his 20s, and apparently he does have some say as to where he's going to go. He's not going to want to go to any AFC team unless it's called the Kansas City Chiefs, right? So he's probably going to end up in the NFC somewhere, not necessarily in their conference. He won't be in the NFC South. So, this is going to be the biggest mystery, and they got to get rid of him, Mike. They don't have any money to even pay the guys they drafted. That is serious. It's almost like they apply for a government grant to pay their bills. It's amazing. Or ask Adele, can they borrow some money? That's crazy. So,
They can ask Kyle Pitts to come on pro bono for a couple years, I guess.
and Kyle, we guarantee you, we're not going to make you wait 4 years or 5 years. We're going to give you a boost in 2 years. All right. God.
So Ronbo, all these haters coming in here,
I know. It's a daily thing.
Joseph Clownboy, Seahawks in pain.
He's my favorite.
I noticed one of them saying that 49ers like to live in the past. Well, that's because we have a past that we want to remember. And we also have a future, which you have neither. You have one you want to forget. So let's go back and past. The LOL Rams, they lost twice to Brady, and one of those is NFL's history's most boring game.
Super Bowl of all time.
Yeah. No, most NFL's history. Yeah, it doesn't matter Super Bowl. NFL history's most boring game. Then the Seahawks have the Big Ben hustle heartache and the beast mode brain fart. NFL history's dumbest play call.
Exactly. So,
they're jelly, Rombo. They know we're coming.
I just don't know where they get the hair to come in here talking trash, All of them together, Mike, don't have enough rings to equal one 49er team, all right? You put the Rams and Hawks together. Who else is in there talking
Their
trash?
wins combine our losses.
I don't know how you get the nerve. My homeboy is one trophy. Come on, man. That was a championship they won to start. Was that a Lombardi? That was a championship. That wasn't a Lombardi. So they got one Lombardi. 50 years it took them to get that. So when these people get off coming into the chat talking trash, it's amazing. No shame. So,
Yeah, Rombo, we've been beating that dead horse saying, the health and the bully ball, but it's true because NFL defenses are drafted to stop the pass now. They're not drafted to stop a sadistic run game. It's going to come at you 6-7 times in a row with the ball.
So that's.
What team in the NFC is doing that?
Yeah, we're going to be
Kyle is not on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm. And Kyle doesn't have just an everyday run game either. That's what people got to understand. That's a very strategic and brilliant strategy that he runs from play action mostly, right? So you think he's always giving himself the option, and the quarterback usually needs to know where to make the move because you got the running backs coming through here, all right? Fake throw, there's a guy open, hit him right over the middle, he's wide open. You keep doing that for a few minutes, and teams get off balance, they get stupid, and they get beat. That's just what's going to happen. So, and we got the personnel this year to get it done. From top to bottom. Even if we don't get Julio Jones. So we're fine. Mike?
Yeah, I hear you now.
So, yeah, Mike, so I'm not worried about the 49ers. I just didn't want to see the Hawks fall into good fortune by adding Julio Jones because I really don't like that team. So, no, Hawks.
It wouldn't surprise me if they banked everything they had on it. Desperation mode.
Because that's what they do, you know. They do like Jamal Adams. It's like that Jared guy on, and I think that's Joseph Smiley. I run into on Twitter all the time. Yeah, hey,
Joseph Clown Boy, yeah.
Yeah, hey, we got Adams, and you know, I said, how did that work out for you? How many first round picks? Because he was getting on the 49ers for trading for two first round picks for Trey Lance. I said, dude, you know what? Don't in that conversation. You should not be even involved. First round picks. At least we got something that looks solid for the future. Adams, how did that work for you last year? You know, it's just so easy to argue with these people. You know, God. Well, Mike, I guess we're running out of time. We're having too much fun talking about those clowns. I'm going to see you tomorrow, okay?
All right, Ronbo. I'll be in. Catch you later.
Mike. Looking for you. Have a good night.
Niners all day. Let's go!
And twice on Sundays. Hey, Darius.
Have a good one, faithful.
You do, fam. Hey, Darius. Darius. And your area code is 775. Hello.
Yeah, we're shaking Ronbo. It's Casey. Got a new number. It's like fourth time in the last year or so, I know. But
Casey, and I always ask you this. Casey, you're in the Lamb, aren't you? It's either some girl who's looking for you that you pissed her off in some fashion.
No.
And or the FBI or somebody, you know.
No, you know, I was on this prepaid AT&T, and then I got a unlimited AT&T, and I realized how poor of a service AT&T is, so I'm on Verizon now.
It bailed out on them, yeah. Well, yeah, you find the service you like, you know. Otherwise, you know. But Casey, man, you know, the Tony from Atlanta, the Atlanta Falcons fan, I was already relieved knowing that the Hawks are not going to pick up. There's just no way. Hawks don't have anything to offer to get him out of Atlanta. The Rams haven't had anything to offer anybody, even themselves, for a long time.
Yeah.
So there's no way that we're going to find Julio in our division. But then he said, I was thinking that, all of a sudden, hey, but the Cardinals they're offering a first and possibly a third, and they want to give us a wide receiver to boot to get Julio. See, that's...
Oh, wow.
That's not good.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't either until tonight.
But, I mean, it would make the most sense if he went to Tampa Bay. That seems where everybody's going.
I don't think there's no more money in Tampa Bay. There can't be another dollar. I'm talking a dime left in Tampa Bay.
Oh, I'm just playing, Ronbo. I'm just playing, man.
I mean, no, the thing is, though, I could see them doing it. They tried to stack that team so that it's impossible to lose. Every position has got a Pro Bowler. Every position.
Oh, man.
And Tom Brady's the quarterback. I said, whoa. It ought to be illegal.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and I think in all sense, it makes, you know, I think going to the 49ers makes the most sense. You know, I mean, if I'm Julio, I'd want to go to, like, the Patriots and play with Bill, or maybe, like, the Ravens and play with Lamar. But, I mean, with Kyle, that's
the guy that made him famous.
The Niners roster,
yeah,
it would seem like the 49ers makes the most sense.
It does. Every analyst agrees. So,
I mean, if they can get, you know, if John Lynch can work his magic, I mean,
you mean Parag Marathi?
You know, we've seen it. We've seen it before.
Man, I don't know, because if Atlanta could stand hardcore, they can't last.
I feel really good.
Longer.
I feel really good about what I saw with Jalen Hurd in practice this last week or whenever it was.
Yeah, his last
the
week.
footage I saw of him in practice looks great.
Yeah, he's moving. Okay, you don't see any hitch in his step or anything. So if he can just,
I think he looks ready to. I think he looks ready to go.
Oh,
and I think
he's healthy.
I think him and Ayuk,
Debo,
spread out with Debo in the slot, Tittle, and then like Raheem. You know, I think that'd be pretty good.
It's definitely solid, no doubt about it.
Yeah. They got to get Debo some more. They got to get Debo some more touchdowns. They got to get Ayuk some more touchdowns.
Yeah, they just got to bust separation. And Debo, I just want him coming around that corner. I love him on that jet sweep. He anticipates that so well. You see him. You can see him shifting gears. Yeah. He's got the radar going. You can see. He's got the screen sitting there. Hook left. I'll shift back to right. You've got an open lane ahead, and there he goes.
Yeah, man. Him and Raheem are just like, yeah, and like you see, you know what's crazy is like you see like kind of the same like runs from like everyone on the team because like they just all study together and like know how to like hit the hole so well, get the right angles. But man, Ronbo, I still can't believe that about Jeff Wilson, man. I'm just like, throughout the middle of my day, I'm just like depressed looking out my window, like I can't believe it. I mean, I don't think people realize what's happened. Like Jeff Wilson's like, as of like 3 lunches ago, Jeff Wilson was the toughest guy on the team.
He was, isn't he? We're gonna miss him too.
He just
you keep
he's like tore his meniscus, like eating his lunch. Like what the hell is wrong with this Levi Stadium, Ronbo? Like what is going on, man?
We got it.
This guy was just getting good. He was just on a run. You see, those the final weeks of the season last year. That was all Jeff, and now it's like. He hurt his knee. He blew his knee out standing up from the chicken piccata or whatever it was. What the hell is this, Ronbo?
I wish I knew. I still don't understand. He was gonna have a great year. I have a feeling too.
I can't believe it, man. And he's just gonna rush back and like, it's a contract year. I mean, this is terrible, Ronbo.
They'll keep him.
It's really
bad. Too good. They'll take a look at him. They'll take a look at him next year and see if he's healthy and he comes back. The guy's solid.
It's like it's just always somebody. Like it's Jarek or like it's just always somebody that has to have like a torn ACL on this fucking team, Ronbo.
They can't hurt anything else. It's always got to be the knee.
It's like the Bulky curse. Ever since Bulky showed up, it's just been like torn ACL on standby.
Well, at least it's going to get better because it can't get any worse.
I mean, I don't know,
May.
Yeah, it is.
We've suffered more than our share. Casey, listen, you know what? I'm gonna go and we're gonna see you tomorrow because it started too late again.
Good, Ronbo.
Hey, fam.
Just get that starter jacket ready for week 1, man. You better get that starter jacket ready.
Which one?
the classic starter jacket.
Oh yeah. No, it's too hot. Yep. You got to wait till December on that. But you know what? If it's good luck, I should wear it on a hot day to see what happens.
You want him to make the Super Bowl, it's got to be on week 1, Ronbo. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, no matter what the weather, just because you said it, I'm wearing that starter jacket to open the season. I like that idea. All right.
Saying, Ronbo. Yeah, we got to get this juju going, Ronbo. All right, man.
All right, Casey. Talk to you later. Oh, God. That's an idea, though. I like that idea. Wear the starter jacket in September. Opening day. I might do it. Hey, Darius.
What's up, Ronbo?
Hey, Darius, man. And this happens often, too. I come in, I got something on my mind I want to talk to you about, and then midway through the evening, all of a sudden, I don't even know what I was thinking. We ain't got no problem. No problem here. Julio is not going to Seattle. Not going to happen. And then Tony, the Atlanta Falcon fan, comes in. Yeah, but you know what? We've heard about an offer from the Cardinals for a first and a third. And the Falcons wanted a first. Everybody was saying, man, they ain't giving you no first, man. We can't afford it. We don't have one. All right, fine. We'll talk to you later. And then now, can you imagine if the Cardinals say first and third? That's a done deal. The Falcons will not hesitate to go for that. Now we got A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, and Julio on our schedule twice.
Yeah. Man, I pray to God he doesn't go to the Cardinals. And they drafted some speedy slot receiver. They ran a 4.2 something.
They got him from last year.
Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore. They drafted him this year.
Oh,
they already had Christian Kirk.
They did get Rondale. Everybody got a speedster. Yeah. That's right. Because I remember that during the draft. And they say got that guy from last year, too, that speedster.
Yeah, Christian Kirk, yeah.
No, there's another one, too. I forget his name.
Oh, Andy Isabella?
Isabella. I wanted him. I said, oh, man, I'd like to get Isabella. He's got that kind of speed. So it's not good.
Yeah. Man, I'd be shitting my pants if we had to play the Cardinals. Julio, D-Hop, AJ Green, man, AJ Green's cool. I just don't think this is 2015 anymore. I don't think AJ Green Green's anything special, but he's still, still a veteran. He still understands how to get defenders to fight and stuff, all that stuff. So AJ Green's still a weapon. So, man, I'd be scared to play the
Just use him in the end zone. End zone threat.
Yeah.
You had all that linked, him and Hopkins in the end zone. Oh, my God. And now you got Julio. Oh, God. No. So.
Yeah, but I think if Julio does get traded, I think most teams do this. You saw this happen to Odell. I can guarantee the Niners offered something much better than the Browns did, but you don't want to trade within the conference, So that could have, I think maybe I think he goes. There's a higher chance he goes to the AFC than the NFC. You don't want to trade within the conference.
Yeah. That's the Falcons going to look to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're right. So I don't know. But at the same time, they've got to get rid of him, or they might have to cut him, and then they get nothing.
Yeah. You don't want to cut him. So if he goes to I just don't think the Seahawks are going to get him. But then again, if they throw something absurd out there, obviously the team's going to take it. So you don't know. But I think the Seahawks have more pressing needs than getting them a receiver. You already got Tyler Lockett.
Mm-hmm.
You got DK. Just drafted receiver second round. What's his name? Dwayne Eskridge, something like that.
Yeah.
Receivers, the Cardinals, is a last year need. Do you need more of a offensive lineman? Do you need more of a DB? Because Seattle has no DBs anymore.
You forgot about Spoon.
Left. The best cornerback in the league, Ronbo.
I don't know what's wrong with Spoon.
Yeah.
Why would he say this?
I don't know. I think there's something about Seattle, Ronbo. Something about Seattle that gives you unnecessary cockiness. But man, I just can't wait to watch Debo route. I can't wait to watch Debo run over him. I can't wait to watch Ayuk route him up. Dude. Yeah. I'm so excited for this.
Jalen Hurd, bump him up.
Yeah, Jalen Hurd. Yep. Kato's just chucking him, tossing him like a rag doll. So yeah, I think Julio goes outside the conference. Outside the conference. I don't think he goes NFC unless something absurd gets thrown to him. But man, I don't want him to go to the Rams. I heard the Rams are out of it though, but I don't want him to go to the Rams, the Cardinals, or the Seahawks. It's just you don't have the corners that can match up against the receivers.
It's too much.
Like DK already in that first game, he gave me a headache. He gave me a headache. The first game against Arizona, week 1, D-Hop just annihilated us. Now after this,
no. Hey,
was it
the second? Was it
16,
second game?
Jason Verrett.
Yes, Verrett
really
shut that show down.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that matchup.
But against a guy like DK, or a guy like it's just 6'4", runs like a 4.3. It's just you can't. You're not going to expect to go there. He's still going to get his catches. So you don't have the corners that can match. And if you add Julio to any of those teams, like Seattle, let's look at this. So let's just say Seattle has Tyler Lockett in the slot. Now we can get rid of Tyler Lockett if K1's there because K1 owns Tyler Lockett.
That's
in the slot.
true. Yeah.
But then you got DK and Julio on the outside. Now let's just say Jason Verrett's on. I don't know. We'll just say Julio. All right, or we'll just say DK. All right, Julio's gonna have a field day, or DK's gonna have. So no matter what now the same thing for the Cardinals. If you got D-Hop on the outside, and then you got AJ Green on the outside as well, and then you got Julio because you don't need a slot receiver when you have those three, right? You don't have the corners that can match up. So, and then for the Rams, the Rams, their receivers are more like slot, like Cooper Kupp's like slot.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really deep threats. They have the ability. Now, if you add Julio to that slot opens up so much more for them. And then with Matt Stafford and his arm talent, I don't want to see it. I hope he goes somewhere. I hope he doesn't go to any of these teams. If he comes to the Niners, without us giving major pieces, I'll be happy. I'll be happy because we'll burn Seattle secondary. the Cardinals secondary is trash.
Yeah.
And with Jalen guarding Julio, nobody can guard Ayuk, so we'll have a field day as well.
I love it, man. It's just music to my ears. But we got to go. I tell you what. I think I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Let's see what develops overnight and during the day. So, all right, fam. Have a great night.
All right, have a great.
Yeah. We you know what? We all share the same kind of feeling. You know, man. Okay, well, time will tell, and shortly too. We're going to check out Marcus again. Hey, Marcus. Marcus. I think Marcus is in for the night. All right, fam. I tell you what. I'm saving pizza to find out where Julio goes. So I just go ahead and make me a pig-eared sandwich with lots of hot sauce and cornbread. So, fam, have a great night. And fam, thank you for the contributions. Always appreciated. Thank you so much. And the likes, we got those up a little bit. Okay. You know, trolls led by Joseph Smiley and Patrick Masili, boy. Well, you guys, man, I love the way you guys come in because you get worked every time you get in here. I love it. But keep coming in if you want. It's sadistic, but keep. We'll beat you up all you like. For the win. Did we forget Tommy Huxley? Can we still? Hey, Tommy didn't cut me off. Tommy, thanks, family. My homeboy. Oh, this is good. My homeboy. Why can't you score a touchdown in the Super Bowl? I guess you can't get away with holding every Super Bowl, can you? Tommy, thank you. Oh, that's so accurate. I would give anything to replace those refs with the refs we had. Homeboy, you know y'all got away. Oh, did you get a break? Oh, yuck. I'm out of here.